can't play, you know. I mean, if I played and it tore off the bone again, I could have another operation, but who knows whether I'll get a game anyway, so.
All right, good on you. Anthony Stevens joining us there, and of course your testimonial tomorrow night. Good luck with that.
Yeah, no worries.
Good on you. Back to you, boys.
Good on you there, TJ. If you're going to back anybody in to get there too, it'd be that man, Anthony Stevens. Played in the grand final with a broken ankle one time. Here's the Hawks. They're running onto the ground now in the MCG. And Gary, it's a very simple equation, as you said. They must win tonight, or, as we said last week, they're out. Now, they lost last week, but definitely you've got to have 12 wins to make it this year. Now, the ins and outs here, Stone and Adrian Cox out. Barlow is a late out tonight with a calf injury. And coming to the side, Loach, McCabe and Johnson.
Now, welcome back, Luke McCabe. You'll give them a little bit of steel in the back half. Hasn't played since the split round, so he's missed a fair bit of footy, but that's got a pretty solid look about it, the last line of defence. We wanted to settle this side down, the Hawthorn team, no question about that.
They like playing the Kangaroos. They've won 3 of their last 4 by an average of 44 points, including a 68-point win in round 6 this year.
Yeah, and they were very impressive. Their midfield really carved the Kangaroos up in that earlier game during the season. Crawford, of course, won so much of the footy. Simon Cox had another great game last week with 20 touches, kicked a couple of goals from the wing, so he'd be a player they'd have to keep an eye on. And, well, Nick Holland, he had an up-and-down season yet. He just needs to find a bit of the footy.
And, of course, he's had injury problems. He's starting to get a bit of movement in his shoulders. Now, Hawthorn can be as high as 8th after tonight and as low as 11th and out of business for season 2002. It's going to be a great game of footy. Thompson up forward, Brown and Rees has been a fantastic player. 27 disposals, making his debut this year from Wesley College.
Yeah, indeed, and Angelo Lekis also returned to some terrific form last week. He's been a fantastic player, 30 disposals. I thought he was clearly Hawthorn's best. They've got some goal-kicking power on the ball. Mitchell was hard when he came on, and Brett Johnson, of course, has been given another chance, so he'll certainly look forward to an opportunity. We mentioned the game earlier in the season between these two sides, the Kangaroos and the Hawks. Some big numbers here in the midfield, as I said. Vandenberg, Lekis, Crawford, Dixon from the forward line. The two top fellas there, Barlow and Barker, both missing tonight, Eddie. That is significant. 12 marks and 11 marks. They had a big impact on that result.
And Dixon and Vandenberg running into a bit of trouble at a nightclub over the weekend as well, so at least they might have their minds focused on the job. Here's the Kangaroos. Shannon Motlop plays his 50th game tonight, so congratulations to Shannon Motlop. And for the Kangaroos, well, what a season it has been. Well, the omission of David King tonight certainly will hurt them. Suspended during the week for a pretty soft one as well, by any standards. So Jones, Petrie and Motlop come in for King rubbed out. Severio Rocker, who played all but one game for the Kangaroos since moving across last year from Collingwood to the Kangaroos. And Jason McCartney is omitted from the side, and Sav had kicked 49 goals, 30 for the season, so he will be badly missed.
Yeah, and it doesn't bode well for Jason McCartney being out of that side when Rocker's also out. It's a bit of an ominous sign, but Colbert has been able to stand up, and I suppose that means that the reliance on someone like McCartney hasn't been as great. Jess Sinclair was fantastic last week. He had 30 disposals, took 7 marks, and coming over from Fremantle, he's playing career best footy. It's a young centre line, really, isn't it? Unobtrusive, not big names, but they seem to get the job done, and they find themselves inside the 8. So they've recruited wisely there. Ben Robbins has been a handy pickup. I think Digby Morrell,
it's been great, hasn't
he? Carey has taken his chance.
And the boy Pickett there reported today. He is the bloke most feared in the AFL, and with good reason. He is well named, isn't he, Pickett? Because it feels like you're getting a picket right across the head every time he runs through you.
Johnny Blake, in his last season of AFL footy, he has been a fantastic stalwart for this footy club, so we wish him well. Brent Harvey, also a wonderful player. Oh, look, I think it's time that young Porter, or not so young, Porter stood up. We saw what Corey McKernan's doing at Carlton, and of course involved in the swap. He's got to start to repay a little bit of faith, I think, Mark Porter.
Yeah, 25 years of age, so not that young these days.
No, absolutely. And they've also got a nice little mix of youth, and Lee Harding's exciting. He's almost a bench specialist, Ed. He can come off the bench and kick goals, so that's not a bad looking lineup. The thing about this Kangaroo side, there's no great secrets about it. I think Denis Pagan has coached the same way for a long time. It is not particularly brain surgery, let's say. They're number 1 in the comp for long kicks, contested possessions and running bounces. And, well, clubs can prepare all they like, but that's what they'll play. It's how they'll play, and they'll play it well. They go long from the back line, they contest the mark, they get it across to a runner, such as a Brent Harvey, who will bounce the footy and carry it, get into the hands of someone else who's got the opportunity to kick long. And have a look at this from Sav Rocker. He kicks over the line. You'll see the pack gather. It gathers there. He goes 20 metres past it. 3 kicks later from full-back, the ball was in their forward line. And had he not marked it, they all would have crumbed it, and that's the way the Kangaroos will play. That's what's coming at the Hawks tonight.
So get it, lay it off, run, have a bounce, kick,
Goal.
Mark or crumb and goal. That's the theory.
All right, that's the theory. That one will be in play tonight. I don't think there'll be any drastic change to Denis Pagan's thoughts on tonight's game. Well, there's Simon Cox. He has been a very important player for the Hawks this year. And Glenn Archer leading from the front tonight in the absence of his best mate, Anthony Stevens. Big Spider Burton will be in the ruck. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it is the vital first elimination final, really, for season 2002. Hawthorn and the Kangaroos. Friday night football. AFL on 9.
Here comes September, and we both know what that means. Sometimes it's all about grass. Not everything's made to last. That's the way you wanna remember. Well, that's the way you gotta remember that I won't cry now. Here comes September.
G'day mate, how are you? G'day Ben, how are you? Geez, those hands are very cold. That's it, so now you get the photo. Shane, this is Ben, he's going to toss a coin tonight. This is Glenn, this is Ben, he's going to toss a coin. Righto, Ben, big high toss, mate. Then your call, mate. Good toss, well done. The tail.
So Brett Allen calling the shots there. Glenn Archer wins the toss. The Kangaroos will be kicking to the left of screen to the Hunt Road end as the rain starts tumbling down here at the MCG, right on cue for this start of the game. It'll be nice and slippery, and it's nice and greasy conditions. Hard at it football required. Tony Jones and Doc Larkins are both out in the elements.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Eddie, unfortunately for us, that rain is getting just a little bit heavier at the moment. Very little in the way of wind. I'll tell you more about that later. What do you got, Doc?
Yeah, Sab Rocker out with his ruptured cruciate for North, replaced by Corey Jones, who's coming back from a stress fracture.
All right, boys, we're away, and North Melbourne get the first start with a free kick in the centre of the ground.
Very interesting. Probing kick inside the 50. Morrell gets a hand pass to Archer. 25 metres out. Kicks a goal. Amazing start.
Yeah, well, the free kick was Mickey Martin thrown to ground right down there at the full-back line. We will see it very, very shortly. In 15 seconds, that goal was scored by Glenn Archer. Here it is, Holland and Martin. This is before the ball's bounced. Thompson rather. And there's the free kick. It's been pinged out of the middle, goes down and scores a goal. So, dramatic start.
Well, there you go. It was so quick and so dramatic that Pete Larkins didn't even finish his sentence. Pete, have you got something to add?
McCabe, obviously.
All right, there you go.
He's not happy with you.
Sorry, Pete, I tell you what, we did interrupt him one other time before, but that was after they'd scored 10 goals. Back to the action, Denis Cometti. Welcome aboard, Denis.
Thank you, Ed. 3 kicks in the game now as Grant goes down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing one. McCabe, good to see him back. It's a hand pass away. Tallis from defence. Down towards half forward. Ill directed, though. Martin in the road. Mickey Martin across half back to Grant on the wing, unchecked. Poor kick, though. Wanders inside the 50. Sliding in was Petrie. Was he taken high? No. Held in by Hay, and a ball up about 40 metres out from the attacking goal.
Couple of interesting matchups. Simon Cox has gone forward. Cochrane looks to be his opponent for the night, so he's taking him forward. Colbert on Holland as well.
Plenty of space, goal side. Luckily for the Hawks, falls to Loney, bounces it out towards the wing. Bitterly cold night. Rawlings leads in the race out there. 1 of 2 playing tonight. Socked away by Vandenberg towards the boundary line and gets it out as we go back to the dock.
Thanks, Dennis. Just going to say Corey Jones coming back after the stress fracture in the navicular. On the topic of stress fracture, Adrian Cox listed as an ankle injury, but actually a stress fracture in the foot, so he could well miss the rest of the season for Hawthorn. Chris Barlow, a late withdrawal with a calf strain that could keep him out for a week or 2. Luke McCabe just coming back from a major shoulder surgery 8 weeks ago.
A third opinion from the dock. Great Mark Sinclair lays it off. Makepeace. Simpson got it from the congestion on the outer side. Kick inside the 50. Petrie came hard, couldn't control it. McCabe head down as he carried forward, not according to the umpire. Ball up right on the 50. Kangaroos by 6.
And the Hawks wearing black armbands. Good strong bump here. Black armbands tonight for the memory of Kevin Skeeter Coughlin, who played 31 games for Collingwood from 49 to 52, 59 for Hawthorn, and a fantastic member of the media over the years, Skeeter Coughlin. In the meantime, have a look at this. Hodge into the open goal for the Hawks. He's half miskicked it, but has gone right through the middle. So good was his follow through. First goal to the Hawks.
Yeah, the fullback had to follow his opponent Nick Holland out there. That was Lee Culver, because Hodge coming around onto the right foot. You would have assumed, and you're big, Gary, on knowing your opponent's ability. We watch it here on replay. You'd assume here on the wrong foot he's going to go for a safe little chip kick forward. But he says, no, that's open. I'm going on the non-dominant side. A miss hit, and it's worked for him.
He's got good leg speed too. He might have even been able to straighten up on the left, but, well, it wasn't the most pretty kick, but it's worth 6 all the same.
Scores a level. Umpires tonight, Allen, McLaren and Morris. Rucks go at it. Porter tries to hook it down. Simpson, boot to ball, jammed it towards half forward. Graham run down from behind. How about that? Archer behind, Pickett in from the side. He certainly earned that disposal. Simpson, Makepeace across half back under pressure. Sends it very wide. Rawlings tracks it. It bounces out of bounds. It'll be tossed in on the wing. A goal apiece.
Ben Robbins got the job on Shane Crawford, so he's in for a fair run tonight. There's a big hit from Byron Pickett. Not for the first time this year either. A good one.
Tossed it out of side. Wren decisively. Off hands, Reeves. Leckis having a fine season inside the 50. Slipping over Colbert, getting back Makepeace. Rode a bump. Well done by Chick. Got 4 fingers in there and knocked it out of bounds.
Said, well, to get a finger on that one.
See, the one thing that was came up there. They're exposing there Mick Martin. Thompson started from behind him in the sprint for the ball and almost got to it at the goal face there. So that's got to be a little bit of a worry if Mick is exposed one-on-one in a pace battle.
On the throw in, Blakey. Whoa, have a look at this. Here's a chance for Tallis. Did it well at the outside of the boot. As he kicked the goal, now it's a point. It's hit the post. Pretty well there, Raiden Tallis. Almost snuck through a goal. Look at this. Just didn't get enough of it. And the edge of the football just hit the post. And just on Scooter Coughlin, he was the smallest player of his era, just 163 centimetres and 56 kilos. He's a great player. Here's a small man who stands tall for the Hawks. Crawford kicks it long to the square. Blakey from behind for the Kangaroos. Comes to ground though. The Hawks have got their second. Brown. And Campbell Brown has been a revelation for the Hawks in his debut season. Kicks his first goal of the night. And Campbell Brown has now kicked 9 for the season.
Well, he did pretty well there, and he's got to the fall of the ball. One thing Nathan Thompson does, he gets double-teamed here. And the Kangaroos, and the coach, Denis Pagan, would have seen that the Tigers double-teamed Nathan Thompson close to goal last week with success. So they get into the crumb situation there.
And that man that went back was Campbell Brown's immediate opponent, Makepeace, made a grave error in leaving his man.
So the first 2 goals go to first-year players for the Hawks.
Porter slaps it wide. Bateman did nicely. Inside the centre square, launches one. It's a probing kick. Colbert got a fist on it. Sinclair couldn't control it. Confronted by Chick. Down goes Blakey. Brown again to Holland. Found some space. Hooks towards goal. In front, Martin to knock away. Harvey did nicely. Hacked his way through. Stops close to the boundary line. Simpson, he's been busy. Nice kick. Grant just outside the defensive 50. Leckett stopped it on the mark. Now a chance for Rees. Steps around a would-be tackler to Hodge. 70 metres out. Miscues. Harvey in front. Couldn't hang on. He was tackled in midair. He'll get the free kick. Advantage is paid. Well, Holland pleads his case, saying it should come back. Probably had a point. Meantime, kicked around the outer side. Teague came back with courage. Ran over the football. Tackled by Teague. Whistle ball up. 7 points the difference.
A pretty bright opening in this game.
Plenty of space, Eddie. There's a lot of room out there at the moment. Both forward sets, particularly the Kangaroos, all setting up close to goal. Enormous amount of space in front of them.
Ball up on the southern stand wing. Porter tries to throw it out. Tallis does well against 3 opponents. Cochrane now for the Kangaroos. Flicks it out to Robbins. Finds some space. High up and under. Towards the forward 50, but Graham gets underneath it and marks on his chest for the Hawks. To Wren. Hawthorn trying to build it up now. Through to Hay at centre halfback. Tristan halfback position. Nothing on for him at the moment, so he has to go wider still. Out to Rawlings, who takes the mark. 2 number 20s, Drew Petrie. Playing on Holland, on Rawlings rather, Jade Rawlings.
Dangerous kick to Bateman.
Dermott, he tipped it, and Archer has cut it off. Archer now kicks long. He needs somebody to run into space, but there was really nobody there. So it's turned over quickly. Graham with the boot out towards the halfback flank position. Same deal, that'll come back in. Here's Cochrane now. Stewie Cochrane decides to take on Cox. He just got the boot away. Good vision. He nearly made a mess of it. Sinclair was a bit cute with one hand, and it goes over the line and out of bounds for a throw in. 60 metres out from the Kangaroos' goal. We said it was a bright opening. Well, that was a comedy of errors all through there.
Yeah, but that statistic there tells you a fair bit about how the Kangaroos are going at it. Very hard. I think Archer was looking for Sinclair initially when he went forward, and Sinclair sort of stopped.
Wren to Cox to Tallis. Rees tried to kick it out, didn't succeed. Harvey in the road, sends it back inside the attacking 50. Well, Jones could have been pushed in the back. No free kick. Graham stopped it effectively. Got it to Cox to McCabe. Over the top. Hey! Back he goes and slaps it across the line.
Got to say one thing quickly there. When Mark Graham was outdone for strength, he reached around Glenn Archer and actually tapped the ball back underneath Glenn Archer to a teammate. Won't go on any stat sheet, but it's as good as a possession.
6 points. Hawthorn's way early going. Friday night football at the MCG. Cox short to the pocket. They bring it out. Rawlings close to the boundary line. It pitches just inside. Crawford goes across with it. It'll be tossed in.
So the throw in on the half-forward flank for the Kangaroos. They trail by a goal. We've played nearly 9.5 minutes in this opening term. Off the ball, bit of pushing and shoving. Harvey goes to ground on centre wing. Wanted a free kick. No umpire ran to see it. Oh, there you go. Might have been the square up. Porter gets the free kick. The big Mark Porter from centre wing. Thumps it inside 50. Petrie's the man. Up he goes in front of the pack and holds the mark. Did it well. Put the big frame in front and dragged it in, and he'll line up 45 metres out, pretty much directly in front.
Might have got a bit nervous, Dennis, when the rain started to fall. They've got Petrie, they've got Porter, and they've also got Big Spider Burton. Started with Drew Petrie up forward, and that is head first.
Yeah.
Taking the pace off
it.
it.
Bit of Andrew Kellaway about it from the other night.
Kept his eye on the ball beautifully.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how you end up with it. It's as good as just gloving it cleanly.
Drew Petrie has kicked 7 goals this season and in his career of 16 games. This is game number 17 tonight. Coming in, the boy from Ballarat to square it up at the 10.5-minute mark. He comes in, kicks from 50, gives it a good roost too, but he's hooked it, and it's through for 1 behind. So the Kangaroos are 1 goal to 8. Hawthorn 2-1-13 as we approach the 11-minute mark of the opening term. 12 minutes 53 left on the clock.
That was lace out. He's got the indentation to prove it. Here's Crawford in the back pocket. Running out of space. Will they force the error? Yes, they have. Kangaroo ball out of bounds on the full.
Do you notice when Drew Petrie kicked before a goal, he kicked from about 10 metres back behind the man on the mark. He had about another 6 metres up his sleeve.
Kicks it in again. Plenty of Kangaroos at the back. Couldn't complete the mark though. Robbins over his shoulder towards the boundary line. Lekas, Pickett bearing down. It's out of bounds. It'll be tossed in. Kangaroos settling now and looking better, doing most of the attacking. Just over 12.5 minutes till quarter time. There's the bench for the Hawks. Tossed in. Cold night. The breeze not a factor though. Cochrane did well, or tried to. Down goes Crawford. Morrell too slick. Pickett 25 metres out, snaps and gets the goal.
We can make the goal down to Corey Jones. This is what coaches love to see their forwards do. It is forward line pressure at its very best. Just watch Shane Crawford gather the ball here and see how quickly he gets hauled in. Corey Jones, number 21, ball spills out, and Byron Pickett gets a shot at goal and kicks the goal. So that's what he's down there, Corey Jones. He's got good leg speed to put pressure on when he's not in possession and create some opportunities. And Denis Pagan would be delighted with that effort.
So the Kangas back in front by a point with 12.25 minutes left on the clock. Out of the centre, Shannon Grant onto his favoured left foot. He thumps it long inside 50, but getting to the front was Tallis. He dropped the mark. Pickett was there. Harvey, little toe poke, was clever football. Picked up by Jones again, out wide to Sinclair. Swings round onto his left boot. He's 55 out, as you can see on the screen. He thumps it long to the hot spot, right to the spot. Archer came out, but Rawlings was magnificent with the fly to the ball and held the mark.
Glenn Archer would have marked that had Jade Rawlings not gone back with such courage.
Rawlings to Lekas.
Killing him in the middle of the ground on the takeaways, the Kangaroos at the moment.
This is Tallis. One bounce, no one runs at him, so he keeps going. Fourth possession, 2 bounces. Stops because there's no one to kick to. Doesn't want to turn it over, so he runs around Teague. He will receive some great support from Hodge. He has a bounce. He's on his left foot. He's 55 out. He spears the kick to the goal square, but it drops short. As you can see, Campbell Brown wanted up in the air, but Makepeace cut it off at the pass.
Makepeace away then, towards the outer side. A couple of cheers from Martin. Pulls rank, kicks it up towards the wing. Simpson, man on short. That's ignored. Goes for distance. Not a good kick though. Bounces just outside the 50. Hay trapped it. McCabe. Rawlings. Wonderful mark moments ago. Back to McCabe. Forward of the 50. Short towards the middle. Tallis in space. Little chip on the lead kick. He's about 55 metres out. Goes towards the pocket. Lovely disposal. Hollander's got it about 10 metres in from the line and about 30 metres out.
I think it's a really telling situation what we saw about 60 seconds ago, Gary. Not one Kangaroos player came to Raiden Tallis out on the wing. They're obviously being told, don't let Hawthorn have targets, stay on your man, don't run at the ball carrying player.
No easy kick this one. Holland deliberately, beautifully strips away.
Well, what they've also done, the Hawks, is pushed Nick Holland to the goal square to play Colbert out of the goal square, which means Thompson takes Mickey Martin up across half forward to try and run him around. And look, it was copybook played. It was really precise. They hit targets every time. And that's as good a footy as you'd like to see. It's a nice little training drill and a lovely finish from Nick Holland. Needs to score goals, Big Nick, and he's doing that.
So the lead has changed 4 times in the opening 15 minutes. Centre clearances, Kangaroos 4, Hawthorn 1. And Simpson again gets first purchase on the ball. He grabs Vandenberg. Now it comes out to Robbins. But the kick is marked by McCabe at halfback for Hawthorn. Once again, no one runs at the ball carrier. He kicks long. Leckers did everything right, bar hold the mark. Cochrane threw it out. Shannon Grant just thumps it on the boot to the centre wing where Loney has the run. He's a beautiful kick at the football. He puts it high in the air. Out comes Holland. Brown's there as well. Beautiful mark. Campbell Brown. Courage.
Every week we see Hawthorn. This fella does something that says to you, gee, he can play. That's a standing start jump off 2 feet. And Eddie, you mentioned courage as well. That is a great mark. Look at that. That is a terrific athletic effort.
Came at him left, right and centre, literally. And Campbell Brown lines up for his 2nd goal of the night. Give the Hawks a handy lead. They lead by 5. This to make it 11. Brown comes in and puts it right through the middle. When you take a mark like that, you kick the goal.
Talk about young players that have come onto the scene, and we always throw up Rewalt and Judd and all those class acts. I think this kid here has been, well, perhaps not as impressive, but he's not far behind. In the space of 11 games, he's shown enough. Some big shepherds off the ball from Vandenberg, but he's shown enough, Campbell Brown, to know that he can play midfield and back. But when you can do this, Dermot, gee, you got some things going for you.
It's a well-timed jump too. I mean, they are as rare as hen's teeth in this game to see somebody mark over their head in a pack off 2 feet.
And pick 32 in the draft. That is a great result for the Hawks.
Rawlings out of the middle. Floats one down towards half forward. Tallis came hard. Got a first on it. Knocked it back. Charging in Porter. Taken down. Martin with the outside of the boot. Well, suddenly a man meters in the clear as Harvey. How the heck did that happen? Gets a hand pass away. Grant, awkward one for him. Had it been in front, well, it may not matter what might have been. Harvey snaps and misses near side. Well, had it been, we'll go back to that point. In front of Grant, had he not broken stride, probably could have scored. As it was, they got it behind. 2-3-4-1. Rawlings. Taking plenty of time. Needs to be precise. Is Bateman, short of half back. 8:20 till quarter time. Bateman beats the men on the mark a couple of times. Sends it very high towards the wing. Crawford! Wonderful mark. Defensive side of right centre wing. The champ. Magnificent. Goes down towards right half forward. Their marking has been a feature. This is Lotes.
Yeah, fresh on. He gave Sean Wren a rest when Campbell Brown was lining up at the last goal.
Lotes kicks forward. 2 Kangaroos up. Flicked outside 50. Teague crashes through. Good play. Vandenberg. Robbins over the ball. Tough play out there. That's as hard as you'd like to see in any game of football. Ball up 49 metres out. Beautiful mark from Shane Crawford. Jumped all over Cochrane. Just put him enough under the ball to take it on his chest. So Lotes, it bounced off his shoulder. Robbins just thumps it onto the boot. It comes off. On centre wing, Glenn Archer. Kicks to Pickett. Inside 50. Byron Pickett will line up from about 51 metres out.
Beautiful play there by Byron Pickett. He wrong-footed Luke McCabe in the centre of the ground. Lost his footing, Luke McCabe, and led out. All the work's done before he even starts the lead. He's done it now. He's wrong-footed him, so he's got that pace there. But he's going to have to kick a few more goals. Luke McCabe
has been setting up for Hawthorn off the back line. 7 possessions to McCabe.
34 goals for the year for Byron Pickett. A beautiful kick of the football. And he sticks through goal number 2 for the night, for 36 for the season now.
Played in fits and starts, Byron Pickett, hasn't he? He had a fantastic start to the year where he was a regular goal kicker, and then it all dried up for him. And he's just got I think he's got that explosive pace where he can put a bit of distance between himself and a defender. And maybe he's just got to try and exploit that a little bit more. But it's a lovely finish. Good battle, isn't it? Plenty of footy for McCabe, plenty of run off half-back. But right now, 2 goals in the bank for Pickett.
Byron Pickett, 36 goals for the season. Only South Rocker has booted more. Was not playing tonight. Porter gets it down. Robbins in a spotted bother. Taken by one arm, had a long time, reminiscent of Richo last week. They work it forward, though. The kick from Rawlings towards half forward. In from the side, Graham. Bounces obligingly. Rawlings to Cox, right on the 50. Threads it with a magnificent kick to Rees. Crawford runs through the centre square, spears the pass in towards half forward. Wonderful effort by Thompson. Terrific catch. More a catch than a mark. Kicks inside the 50, setting it up. Blakey came back with courage, going back into unexplored territory there. Plays on immediately, looking towards the outer side. Nothing much on offer. Now Simpson is breaking. Kick goes in that direction. Short of Simpson. Runs on. Brown onto the loose ball. Looks back towards the middle. Finds a man. Lotes.
Bateman can run all the way to his side here. Too late to get to him.
Lotes. Well, it didn't go 15, didn't matter, didn't carry. Rees inside the centre square. Longer full forward. Chick is down there. Colbert got a fist on it. Across the line it goes. Sliding in was Grant.
Lee Harding in the middle of the ground on that occasion. The effort at the tackle wasn't good enough. He just let Rees get away from him too easy.
Yeah. Too close, Shannon.
Have a look at the Hawthorn zone here. They're actually going to, well, they're out in their zone, but they're basically going man on man where they can.
The Hawks by 5 points, and Harvey, it's a shepherd there from Mickey Martin, runs out to defensive 40, flicks it over the top to Blakey. Blakey's handball is inside to Harvey, is starting to run into circles here. Crawford grabs him, just got the handball away though. So Blakey kicks long to centre wing, free kick downfield, I think. Umpires paid it. Spider Burton, free kicks 4 to the Kangaroos. Hawthorn yet to register one. He goes short. Robbins kept running, took the mark.
Here it is.
So Robbins is 65, 70 metres out from goal. Kicks to the leading Petrie. Underneath it, Hay was there. At the back of the pack, McCabe versus Pickett. Pickett flicks it back, did it beautifully. Opens it up for Archer. Archer on the left foot, kicks to the square, but no one there bar the Hawks. And Graham marks at the true full-back position.
Simon Cox protected his back there. Cochran coming in, just held him off enough.
Hawks by 5 points. End-to-end staff. This is Ruiz. About 25 metres out from his defensive goal. Looks up towards the wing, sends it long. Martin falls over, so did the man with him. As a result, it bounces behind, be taken by Sinclair. Pulls it back towards the middle. Wonderful finish. Harding's got it. Directly in front, 40 metres out.
He's having a great month, Jess Sinclair. I saw him last week, Gary. His performance last week off back flank was just superb. And look, he had 2 options there. The close target there, that's played on. And he sums it up pretty well. Just hits it beautifully with weight.
That's why the bloke that sets it up, the immediate possession before, we should be crediting them more.
Lee Harding, the goal here, and the Kangaroos will lead. What's he done? I think he's missed. He has.
Luke Hodge coming off, sorry, Dennis. He doesn't look to be running all that freely, although his man was Jess Sinclair, and he's getting a bit of it off half-back flank again.
So Ben Dixon comes on. Gary, you want assists now in the stats, do you?
Eddie, there's no question about it. Jess Sinclair made Lee Harding get that footy. It wasn't anything to do with Lee Harding. He just couldn't kick the goal.
So the Hawks. Chance Bateman. Tallis on defensive 50. Starting to run now. Lekis up the centre wing. Vital play this one off the hands of the pack. Crawford's too good. Robbins did well though, just to thwart him for a second. Sinclair over the top to Robbins, back to Sinclair. Quick hands to Burton. Quick hands to Morrell. Running around in circles. We have covered 10 metres in all those disposals. Now Robbins thumps it long, but it was a blind kick with hope. Rulings over the top. Sinclair caught one high. Umpire said a bounce. I thought he might have got into the back end high there. So inside 3 minutes to go. Doc Larkins is the man on the boundary line having a good look.
Yeah, Luke Hodge came off Ed and straight away having an assessment on his right hamstring done, so not good on a cold night like this.
Tackles so far. Hawthorn 14, Kangaroos 4. Half-forward flank for the Hawks. Chick and Blakey over the line out of bounds. Tony Jones.
Yeah, just keeping a close eye on Digby Morrell and Shane Crawford at the moment. They're not together now, but having quite a to-do behind play only a moment or so back.
Eyes on it.
Crossed in, down towards half-forward for the Hawks. Lotes knocked it forward. Bounces off a few hands. Vandenberg 70 metres out, sets it up. Colbert two-fisted away, down in front. Chance for Thompson over the footy, appeared to throw it. Vandenberg gets a hand pass away under pressure. Nicely worked by Rees. Great vision.
He's got very good vision, Nick Rees. Gary, you mentioned the assist, you know, the last person to touch it. Once again, just the knowledge to set up there, as good as Jess Sinclair's at the other end.
The value, Dermot, you cannot underestimate it because you see it unfold much quicker than anyone else. It's a great kick.
Good throw, too.
Good throw.
See all the way to Holland. There goes his kick. Straight through the middle. His second.
Well, that's where sometimes the free kick count isn't a true reflection. It's 4 to the Kangaroos and none to Hawthorn at the moment. So you think they're copping the rough end of the pineapple. But really, when you see a throw like that go unnoticed, that's one for the Hawks they've got away with there. So that's where they even up.
Tell you what this sort of kick does too, Dermot. It gives the forwards a confidence to continue leading all night because the delivery's so good. If you're going to get that sort of delivery, they'll present all night long.
There you heard it. The free kick to North Melbourne was pushed in. Harvey was shoved in the back. So there you go, a free kick on the wing for in the back. So for the second time, the Kangaroos get a free kick out of the centre. Archer, almost for the second time, would have been lining up for goal. On forward 50, Archer gets another go at it. Shannon Grant looking for his left foot was grabbed. Not enough though. Flicks the ball out. Simpson to Robbins. Back to Simpson. Jumping in was Harding. Turnover though, and Cox has it for the Hawks. Simon Cox, beautiful kick, straight down the throat of Holland. Holland handballs inboard. Payton didn't see it, and Makepeace didn't apply the tackle. Free kick downfield against Lee Colbert, and the umpire's called play on. Dixon spills the mark. Good play by T, got his body over the ball. Makepeace needs to make amends, and does. But his kick put Sinclair under all sorts of pressure. Holland comes out, couldn't hold the mark, has plenty of players though in support. One of them is Cox, that's a second throw of the mark. This time it was paid, was it? Play on, said the umpire. Pickett has a bounce, he can go all the way. Byron Pickett lines up the goal from 45 metres out. It comes back, and Byron kicks his third.
Pretty easy to sum up there, and Byron Pickett did it as well. Corley will run away from him here. Look over the shoulder, he saw it was young David Lotes, the 6'7" ruckman, and he just said, well, you've got to catch me. That's the one that went unseen. An error by Chance Bateman. I don't know where his peripheral vision was, and I don't know where the tackle was coming from Makepeace either. But here you go, he senses now. There he goes, over the shoulder. Nick Holland it was, actually.
He's running like David Lotes.
Yeah.
He had a few second and third efforts. He does score goals in a row, Byron Pickett, often doesn't he?
Strings them
3
together.
and 4 and a quarter.
3 possessions for Pickett, 3 goals. Grant out of the middle, another clearance for the Kangaroos, 8-2. Knocked away down there by Graham. In front, Archer, wrestled to the ground, dying seconds of the term. We'll have a ball up.
He's been the man, Archer, hasn't he? He's just provided a presence up forward.
They're actually pushing everyone out away from him, and Mark Graham is that in-between type backman with pace, not a real big body who's been asked to go with him.
Simpson up, knocks it down. Cochrane flicks it wider. Grant pulls it back towards the middle. Simpson pops it down towards the pocket on the side.
Free kick.
Colbert in the back against Holland.
Free kick for push.
Wow.
It's 2 hands in the back. No, 2 hands in the back.
So the Hawks, no free kicks in the opening term. One from the old school. That's a free. Well, not a lot to it.
Don't know if he could have made the ball even without the free kick, but 2 hands on the bat.
One from the old school. I think it's almost impossible to go a quarter without getting a free. Hawthorn have managed it. Colbert comes in and he misses. Sneaks it through for a behind. So at quarter time, it's a tight one. Interesting opening to this. As we said, end-to-end stuff. Hawthorn 5-2. The Kangaroos are 4-5.
Welcome back. Well, Denis was certainly in control, even if he seemed he wasn't. And the Hawks and the Kangaroos, neither have got control of this game after the first stanza of football. The Hawks 5-2-32. The Kangaroos with a shot after the siren could have gone to the front, but they're 4-5-29. It's a 3-point ball game with Holland kicking 2 and Campbell 2 and Hodge 1 for the Hawks. Kangaroos 2-3 to Byron Pickett and 1 to Glenn Archer's. Good football. Let's have a look at some of these stats here, boys.
Well, Hawthorn have had 15 tackles and the Kangaroos have had 12 hardball gets. They're the two that jump out on the page. The Kangaroos have also had twice as many possessions in their forward 50, which says they are in at it first. They are working super hard. Hawthorn are getting to them and laying tackles. And once they get outside, to me, at this stage anyway, Hawthorn look a bit more dangerous. Once they're outside, inside the Kangaroos are okay.
All right, let's get into Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Luke Hodge had the treatment on the upper right hamstring when he came off, Ed. They actually treated it with heat and massage, so obviously not treating it as a tear. He is starting the second quarter, so let's hope it's only a bit of a spasm, because not the night so cold it could easily become a muscle night for strains.
All right, then, we'll keep an eye on there, Pete. It is absolutely cold. It's forecast to get down to 3 degrees tonight.
As we start, supporters happy.
Blue, got a blue in the back line.
Yep, it's on. Dennis, you call the footy, I'll watch the fight.
Okay, I was drawn to the fight. There goes a kick down towards the pocket. Holland missed it. At the back, a chance for Hodge. Spots a man over the top. Goes by hand. Into space, Leckers. Open goal, Beckham's got a good shepherd. Goes all the way.
Yeah, the fight was Thompson and Martin, and also Makepeace and Campbell Brown. And you'd have to say that that fight has benefited Hawthorn, because all 4 players got up eventually, and Leckers was able to run unimpeded from 40 metres out with the roll of the ball, and no one confronted him. The ball's already on the way now. When those boys get to there, watch this. It misses him, rolls end over end. Makepeace has just got up, and Mickey
Too weary to run it anyway.
It's true.
It's going to cost him about 12 grand, that goal, but anyway.
That was a drive-by with a happy ending.
We love those happy endings.
Love them.
38 plays 29. Within 20 seconds, the Hawks have got the first goal on the board of the second term. But here come the Kangaroos now through Blakey on the left boot. Now the kick was intercepted by Graham, who's having a pretty good battle out there with Archer. Oh, have a look at that. Harding ran right through Makepeace. And Harding lets him off the hook for the second time. Bateman it was, sorry. Lets him off the hook for the second time tonight. And Harding, who's been a pretty good kick at goal in season 2002, has kicked 27 goals. Now has 27 goals, 23.
Forward line pressure again. Caused the turnover, gave him a chance at goal.
Long kick coming out this time. Bateman tries to flick it over the back. Wren cast in the role of a rover. Interesting. Tried to knock it forward. Too nimble. Sinclair out against the boundary line. Goes to Grant. Grant runs down towards the 50. Sets it up towards the middle. Good mark taken by Graham. Assisted by Hay. Hits the ground running. Interesting angle. Pulls it back towards the defensive 50 eventually. Now a chance for Rees. Dragged off it. Numbers tell the story. Loney up towards the wing. Tallis bothered by the lights. Took the mark. He's away. Thompson outside him still. Running down towards left half forward. Ignored the kick in short and ill-directed. Colbert did well. Got it to the veteran Blakey. Jammed it on the boot. Back to midfield. Archer missed it. Pickett tries to soccer off the deck. And that ball's not coming out, and the umpire decides to go across and ball it up. The old tag team of Pickett and Archer again around that one. Need to be careful.
He's good value, Pickett, isn't he? He's kicked 3 goals, and tonight, I'd have to say, I don't reckon he's grabbed anything yet. He's double grabbed everything, yet he's still got on the board for 3 goals, while his hands are pretty poor in clasping the ball.
Keep going, Durham. We're going to have another bounce.
Yep. He double grabbed at that one and lost possession of it. There's Byron now. Tell you one thing he does. He makes the opposition look a little bit warily over their shoulder.
No surprise that their forward line work rate is up with both Archer and Pickett in the vicinity.
He just stands at 10 metres off the pack, doesn't he, Durham?
Yep.
Lurking with intent. Here come the Kangaroos now, off half-back. Blakey's handball. Just the target was more in hope out towards the wing position. It was shin forward by Cochrane, who was cleaned up by his teammate. As the Hawks go forward inside 50. And the mark has been taken there by Holland, and the umpire has paid the mark, or given the free kick. He's paid the mark.
I reckon he's a bit stiff here, Nathan Thompson. A little bit.
Yeah, I think it was a free kick had he not been able to take the mark, Holland. So
yeah, I'm sure that the umpires prefer to award the mark, because then there's no decision made and it's an easier adjudication.
Well, it appears they've been directed not to pay as many free kicks, so if they can keep one off the score sheet, then they'll probably get the elephant stamp on Monday at coaching class. Anyway, Holland's missed the goal. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. The Hawks lead by 9 points.
Makepeace.
And Mick's there hoping to lay a shepherd. That's obvious. That's what happened the last kick in. Umpire picked it up after the last effort.
Straight down the middle, the kick. Big leap from behind, off hands. Colbert was the jumper. Harvey got it to Simpson. Kicks inside the 50. Harding was in front. Archer came hard. Loney. Open-handed hand pass. Got it away. Leckis, Graham, Mitchell over the top. Bateman running hard on the wing. Goes down towards half forward. Searching the lead. Holland, was he pushed in the back? Yes. A belated whistle.
The first one for the night.
They love it. Holland. Right half forward goes to the pocket. On the lead, Thompson. Martin did well. Teague slides in. Across the boundary line it goes. It'll be tossed in.
Well, the strength and weakness of the game plan. There's a free kick soft.
I reckon that's a free.
Went one. The Kangaroos went forward. They crumbed it. Went long, crumbed it. But if it gets turned over, they can be exposed because they have to push to get a crumb.
Tossed in. Teague taken down by Chick. Held in. Bounce. About 40 metres out from goal. No love lost there.
Thing with Mick, when you're playing him at full forward, you've got to take him up to about the 20-metre mark. He doesn't like to run backwards towards goal.
Big Burton does it well. Tackled by Crawford. Cleared the area. Colbert. Nice hands over the top to Cochrane. Cochrane decides to gallop off. Kicks to the forward 50. Out they come. Good play. Just couldn't hold the mark. Harding. Loney. Kicks into his teammate, McCabe. He ran hard at it. Chance Bateman. Kicks to the forward 50. Well inside the forward 50. Up goes Wren. Up goes Burton. The only man who could outreach Wren, and he did it. 5th disposal for the Spider. Colbert has a bounce and runs to defensive 50. Looking to draw a man. He does. He gets it over the top. Motlop in game number 50. Does it well up to centre wing. Now he goes inside 50. They need a mark here, the Kangaroos. It's not coming, though. Punched away. Bateman again, front and square. Gets it out to Crawford. Crawford has runners out wide. The kick was an absolute ripper. It's been marked out there by Mitchell. On centre wing, his kick is to the forward 50. And out comes Holland and takes the mark. Wants to get it moving quickly. Does to Rees. Rees lays it off. Hawks under pressure. Cox's kick was inside. Brown did it hard twice, but it was swooped on by Simpson. Back to Burton. Burton to Cochrane, and we start again.
He's a 10.5 back. Side down by 9 points. Goes towards half forward. Morrell leapt early. Off hands. Taken wide of the pack. Down went Robbins. Hand pass forward by Archer. Kick forward by Harding. Knocked away down there by Loney. Grant missed it through his legs. Brilliant pickup, Leckis. Looping hand pass over the top. Loney in trouble. Coughed it up. Grant outside the 50. Morrell 55 metres out. Sets it up towards full forward. Sinclair.
His hands have really improved this year above his head as well. He took some big overhead marks last week. And look, forward line pressure. The tackling out around the 50-metre zone. And this is a very serious overhead mark. That's a very good take. Little bloke, he's drifted forward. Well done.
They're giving themselves a chance, Dermot. They've been brave up there. They know they're a bit light on. Rocker out of the side. They've gone for blokes that are going to work hard when the ball hits the ground. And a couple of their goals now have resulted directly from that as Chick comes to the interchange bench.
Yes, Sinclair coming off 30 possessions last week. 22 in the first half. That was a career high. Important kick to pull it back to 3 points, and he gets the goal. Good mark. Easy kick.
About 2 minutes ago, Cochrane kicked from centre half back, and he kicked to a 50-50 contest, and I know that's the way the Kangaroos normally play. And he kicked a 50-metre kick straight down the line, contest, scrappy, nothing really happened for the next minute or so. What he had about 3 teammates side onto him about 20 metres. If he went sideways to them, they had about a 40-50 metre run ahead of them without any opponents. They've got to look sideways.
So again, fitting the race for a spot in the finals. The Hawks hang on by 3 points after Jess Sinclair's screamer in the square. Robbins to Burton, who's become influential in the last 5 minutes of play. Simpson trying to grab the ball out of the air. McCabe to Crawford. McCabe, that was beautiful play. It was magnificent, wasn't it? Opened it right up. Hodge on centre wing, onto his left boot. Thumping kick, up to the forward line it goes. Mickey Martin thumps it away. T got a hand on it. Colbert. Harvey concedes some ground, did it well to Blakey. Back to Harvey on defensive 50. Held it well, didn't panic. Got it to Blakey. Blakey's kick to a one-on-one contest. But that one is Archer. He was good enough almost. Crawford just picked his pocket. Mitchell. Hodge. Kick was beautiful. Straight down the throat of Thompson. Did not have to check his stride at all. Thompson now kicks long. Holland was there, but getting back was Makepeace. Got a nice chop out by his teammate in Colbert there. Just held his ground and the oncoming traffic. And Makepeace was able to hold the mark.
Harvey short, Colbert. Makepeace breaking from the back pocket up to half-back. Goes towards the middle. Pickett goes back with courage. McCabe wrestled him down. That's 50. 50 against McCabe.
Silly call, Luke McCabe. I mean, it's a mark. You cannot throw a bloke to the ground after a mark. He's got to be better than that, Luke McCabe. Have a look. That is a mark.
I think what he put in his mind, he can premeditate things. Oh, nice one, Byron. You can premeditate things, and I think he might have thought he was going to turn around and try and play on. And you see him turn his shoulder to him. I think he premeditated. He was going to try and exact a bit of revenge there. But you've got to adapt to the situation and play it on its merits.
He has to be better than that.
Kick number 4 for goal number 4.
I like that nice one, Byron from Durban. A bit of professional respect coming there.
Pickett directly in front. A question of accuracy. So far tonight he's been perfect. Hasn't got the carry, not quite offhand. It was on line. Not his best effort. The behind as we go down to Tony Jones.
Well, Dennis, as Gary Lyon indicated, Daniel Chick spending a bit of time on the bench, and I can tell you he's not happy. He's been cursing himself for the last couple of minutes now.
Well, he's had a pretty quiet night to date, Tone. Just the one touch and a quarter and a bit of footy. It is hard work out of a forward pocket.
3 goals, 1 to Byron Pickett. Over the head of the pack once again. Big Spider's the man. He gets it inside the 50. Hay under pressure. Vandenberg still under pressure. Did it quite well. Talekas. Now they start to run it out the Hawks. Beautiful kick. Came from Rees out to Tallis. On centre wing, he handballs it over to Crawford. Look at this, the Hawks are away. It sits up beautifully for Hodge. He's just got to line himself up now. Inside 50, gets onto the left boot, has a shot towards the goal, and has put it through. He is class. He kicks his second.
Well, you talk about the goal, Dermot, and then I'll give you a nice little summation of Byron Pickett and Richie Vandenberg in the back pocket. It was entertaining to watch.
But, well, the goal there, I mean, he was pretty clever. He worked out, unlike the first quarter, he wasn't close enough to get onto his non-dominant side and get the distance. So he just takes this couple of little steps inboard and hammers it from there. 1, 2, straight the zone.
And while all that was happening, there was a little stoush in the back pocket between Byron Pickett and Richie Vandenberg. I missed the goal. I was engrossed here. We got.
You'd pay money to go and watch that one.
It was good. It gets better. Just wait. They have a couple of cracks at. There you go. Oh. There you go. It's a good one.
Richie wouldn't go down to the bottom, though. Well done, son.
Main event in most stadiums. Simpson out of the middle, down towards half forward. McCabe left it behind, picked up by Mitchell, taken high surely, and he'll get the free kick. 8 points the margin. Mitchell pulls it back. Loney meters in the clear, decides to run, carries the ball up towards the wing, probing kick down towards the 50. Pitches in front of Thompson. Down he went. Martin. They fall on top of that pair. That's Brown. And the man he's running with, Makepeace. And eventually the umpire comes across with a smirk, no doubt, on his face, and will ball it up.
You just see Mick's eyes appearing above the body. He looked like a stingray in the mud. Just a set of nasty eyes just lurking up at you.
Red knocked it down. Sinclair across the body. Cox over the top. Teague in trouble. Slung. Rees likewise. goes to the ground. Still he battles on Rees. Over the ball is Brown. And another ball up.
A great game here tonight. With 10 minutes left in this first half of football, the Hawks hang on to an 8-point lead. Ball up. Spider again gets the tap and roves his own tap. Hawks, twists, kicks, does it all. There was the package. Beautiful play. Dylan Smith, left foot kick, was a tumble punt to the centre half forward position. Bit of indecision. Mitchell went hard at it though. Rawlings again didn't quite get the purchase on it, but he found his teammate in Hay, who steps and kicks inside 50. Out comes Holland, takes the mark. Good play. And Nick Holland is playing with a verb that he hasn't had most of this season. Dermot?
Yeah, 5th mark for him. 8 disposals. Had 3 shots on goal, 3 deliberate shots. And I don't think Lee Colbert's liking playing out of the goal square at the moment. Likes to be in motion when the ball's on the way.
Has kicked 2 goals, 1 tonight from outside 50. He gives it a fair old roost. In fact, it's a magnificent kick. He's kicked his 3rd.
Good coaching by Hawthorn. It takes Mickey Martin away from the place where he's played probably a couple of 100 games and puts him out where he doesn't like to be. And as you say, to him, it takes Lee Colbert down there. And you can see him right in the goal square there, Lee Colbert. And he just doesn't go with Holland on that initial lead. And I watched Hawthorn train through the week, and their delivery forward on this ground was terrific. So it is paying dividends at the moment.
Nick Holland has got 3 goals, 8-3, 5-7. Just over 9 minutes till half-time. Burton goes up, knocks it down. Down goes Mitchell. McCabe. Crawford. Cox. They work it well. Loney towards half-forward. Up in front again was Holland. Getting back is Blakey. Lays it off, Makepeace. Close to the 50, kicks it up towards the wing. Cox in 2 minds, knocked it away from Burton eventually. Johnson close to the boundary line. Cox over his shoulder. Well done. Taken by Lecker, 75 metres out. Sets it up long down towards full forward. Surely a free kick to Thompson. Nothing doing. Colbert wrenched it away from Martin. Gave it to Makepeace. Goes to the outer side. Sinclair didn't have to break stride. Up towards the wing. Goes for distance, pulls it back slightly towards the middle. Robbins missed it, charging in Graham. Robbins did well on his knees. Pushed to the back, advantage is paid. Grant measures the kick, goes from 40. Looks pretty good, he's got it. His first.
Well, pretty good pressure from the outside of the ground there, Gary. They actually worked it very well, the Kangaroos, and that's all they did. They had double team situation in the goal square, and it started the whole length of the ground away. They took it all the length of that field with good pressure. Well done. Good spot up. Had to make it work there, Shannon Grant. They're not getting all that much of the footy through the midfield apart from the centre bounces, the Kangaroos.
Hawks have brought Thompson into the ruck to try and curb Spider, who's had 6 possessions, 6 hit-outs and 2 clearances, and he's got another one. Smith couldn't quite get the kick. Pickett hard at the balls. In goes Smith again. It flicks it out. McCabe runs back into trouble. He caught one high. Will get the free kick. Advantage is paid. The Hawks inside 50. Into the hot spot it goes. Holland couldn't quite get there. 1 stride short.
It's Archer back there
Archer
now.
over the top. Will have a bounce 40 metres out directly in front of the Hawthorn goal.
Sam Mitchell's been terrific. We saw him come on off the interchange bench last week and have a big say in things. Another good hit from Byron.
He's got to play even bets, Byron Pickett. He can't keep doing it all the time.
Burton tries to grab it out of the ruck. It falls down to Hodge, who has a flying snap at the goal. Misses. Hodge now has kicked 2 goals, 1.
Just to expand on that one, Doom.
Well, it's great. The rules allow you to do it, but you're going to be called a courageous player if you play even bets, and when it's your turn to get it, you get it. But to jump the ball and go at somebody, different kettle of fish.
Blakey out of the back pocket towards the outer side wing. Archer is out there. Leckis went to ground. Cochrane missed it. Some indecision. Archer and Cochrane. Cochrane eventually gives it away. McKay across half back. Is that 50? Nothing doing. Dixon slides the ball across to Hay. Right on the 50. Chips it up towards the wing, short of Cox. Loops it over the top. Johnson can run now down towards left half forward. Not his best effort. Harvey in the road, slides in, takes the mark.
Mickey Martin's gone on to Nick Holland down at full-back, so you wouldn't be surprised if he takes him out and perhaps Thompson goes for the square.
Harvey, opposite pocket, Makepeace. Kangaroos sticking with the Hawks at the moment. That's Chansey, loose ball on the 50. Now a chance for Tallis. 52 metres out, slips the hand pass away. Swinging around Rees. Well, that's wonderful. He knew the man was down there, Holland. Sharp angle. He's 10 metres in from the line, but it was well worked. Hodge offers. That's ignored. And Holland will line up for his fourth.
It was great talk by the people around him. And also you put a lot of it down to Angelo Lekas for his work off the ball in chasing down Mick Martin. So the kick came inside and that was where the turnover was.
Nick Holland. Important kick. He's in form tonight. He's got 4.
But what happened, Mickey Martin had charged out and the kick was going to go to the wide pocket, but Lekas peeled off his man, went with Martin, so he changed his mind and went to Archer inside. The footy got turned over. Great work by Tallis, and they're screaming at him at that stage. Nick Holland was in the pocket. It's one thing to be told, Dermot, it's another thing to listen in a heated battle, and that's why that kid is a beauty. A good night, Big Nick.
Nick Holland gets his 4th. Hawks sneak out to a 15-point lead, the biggest margin in the match so far. Approaching half-time, we've played 20.5 minutes in this second term. Crawford, the skipper, pumps it long inside 50. Which way will it bounce? Mickey Martin came out, got a hand on the ball. He wants that boundary line and finds it. Throw in.
Played it well there, Nick. Played that one to everything he's got at his disposal at the moment. Just put the big body up in front. Knew if he just kept paddling it, he won't get pinged for over the boundary deliberately.
Plenty of Kangas getting the ball. The Hawks have been far more efficient. They lead by 15 points. Burton gets the tap again, giving Simpson first go at it. Chick applied the tackle twice as Teague had the last touch of the ball. Umpire bounces right on the 50.
Crawford's peeled away to the goal square there.
Umpires tonight, Brett Allen, Scott McLaren and Darren Morris. Burton again gets the tap. Smith and Cochrane fight each other for the ball. We'll have a bounce 55 metres out.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell come up with the ball there. 6 possessions, but he started to win the ball around the packs for Hawthorn. They couldn't do that at all in the first quarter. The Kangaroos smashed him.
Hawks try to just open up the congestion. Here's Mitchell, did it well. Thumped it forward into the spot. Archer crashes through, kept his feet and kept going and cleared it beautifully. Up to the centre wing position. Out comes Loney, couldn't quite get a hand on the ball. Graham. Out to Loney. Cuts back inside, did it well. Now looking for that left foot around the body, panicked and has kicked it out of bounds on the full. Found space, Dermot, and then gave it up.
Yeah.
Have a look at this. It's going to be a costly one because Harvey quickly looked up. And the clangers, the turnovers, Hawthorn's 22 to the Kangaroos 16. And lining up for goal is Corey Jones, who has kicked 1 goal 5 for the season and 6-8 in his career.
Yeah, they play pretty basic football, the Kangaroos, as you described, Gary. So they're always going to have a low turnover count because kick the ball over 50 metres. You can't really call it a turnover if somebody marks it at the other end. There should be enough time for your teammates further up the field to get to the drop of the ball. But it's all with this kid at the moment.
And he comes. Nice looking effort too. Works it left to right. Straight through the middle. Goal to Jones.
Well, that forward line is possessed Corey Jones, Lee Harding at various stages, plus the big hard nuts in Pickett and Archer. And that is because they've got leg speed and they can put defensive pressure on. That's good body work. And that's, look at that big, strong body. Refused to go to ground and ends up setting up a goal. So I think Denis Pagan has given them the best possible chance here tonight. And they are responding, the Kangaroo forward line.
What about Glenn Archer? Just terrific bouncing off 2 players. And 10-pin bowling, that was a very difficult split. Rucks go at it. Mitchell lost it. Rees hurriedly onto the boot. You heard the call. Touched. Off hands. Chance for the Kangaroos. Harding Found himself in space. One bounce, runs down towards half forward, sets it up. Going back is Hayward on the line. We'll have to come back.
Ball gets underneath Mark Graham's hands.
And it's played on behind the line. Is that the call there?
Yeah, behind. Yeah. Rush behind. Yes, it's an interesting one, isn't it? So rush behind in the end. Rawlings takes the kick off for Hawthorn. Loney in the back pocket, chance to redeem himself. Gives it a good thump this time, no mucking around, so he clears the 50. Thompson comes out. There's the umpire there, holding on off the ball. Free kick, Johnny Blakey.
And Shane Crawford off the footy, trying to make it a little bit easier.
Brent Harvey has the ball. At half forward, he kicks inside 50. Burton's the target. Up he goes. One grab at it. Couldn't get his hands the second time. Ball up 40 metres out. Let's have a look at what was going on there a moment ago. So Hayes taking the mark and then gone behind the post.
So he's effectively played on behind the post.
Here's the bounce, 35 metres out. Well, the Hawks can't play a kick. Porter will take the free directly in front.
Big free kicks when they're in this part of the ground, aren't they?
Also, Kangaroos 9 free kicks, Hawthorn 4. All of those 4 in this term. Interesting, given his experience, Peter Schwab has the umpire's first hand. Not helping at the moment. Porter kicks the goal. That hurts.
Yeah, it really hurts, Dennis, and I'm not sure there's much in it. It was the momentum of Porter more than anything else that took him to ground. I don't think Nathan Thompson played a big role in this at all. Look at this. Porter's going forward. That is as soft a free kick as we'll see. And when it costs you a goal, no wonder coaches get frustrated in the box, and players for that matter.
Or maybe a place in the finals.
Exactly.
Wow.
Big call.
So the Kangaroos kick consecutive goals for the first time in the night. And trail now by 2 points. We have got a ball game on our hands. 26 and a half minutes gone in the second term. Consecutive goals to Jones and Porter. And inside 2 minutes to go in this half of football. All on the line tonight for the Hawks. They must win to keep any chance of finals in season 2002 alive. Smith. For the Kangaroos, of course, a win tonight should just about give them the entree to September action. With a minute and a half left on the clock, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Brent Harvey not playing really on the ball all that much tonight, Ed. He's got so much strapping on that left shoulder under the long sleeve jumper, and it's just interesting he's playing off the ball and keeping away from the heavy contest tonight, not being as effective.
He's had 17 possessions. Loney, the back of the pack, kicks inside 50. Here's a chance for the Hawks now. Johnson was pushed over. Makepeace got it out beautifully to Blakey, who clears the 50 up towards the half forward flank position for Hawthorn. Tallis went to ground. Harvey kept his feet. It's the secret. Went down, picked it up with one hand. Beautiful play. Harvey over the top. Sinclair didn't look, just slammed it onto his boot. And is going to go over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. With 53 seconds on the clock, plenty of time for both sides to score. It's the Hawks 58, Kangaroos 56.
A lingering tackle. Dixon on Harvey.
Gave that shoulder a bit.
He had 10 touches, so why wouldn't you?
Boundary throw in. Dying seconds of the term. Rucks go at it. Porter tried to hook it away. Pickett went to ground. Chance for Smith. Interesting hand pass. Deemed a throw. And the crowd aware of the count. McCabe get the free kick. Close to his defensive goal. 32 seconds and running. Short to the pocket. Crawford off his step. Needs to be precise. Makepeace stayed on his feet. Handy in that situation. Lays it off. Harvey against the boundary line. Comes back to Blakey. Steps around a would-be tackler. Probing kick. We're down to 10 seconds. And Rawlings takes the mark on his chest.
Went after Brent Harvey again out the other side of the ground. Did Raiden tell us to test the shoulder?
Mitchell on the siren. So half-time. And everything still to play for. Peter Schwab looking for win number 39 and game number 70. Half-time Friday night football at the MCG. It's Hawthorn 9-4-58. The Kangaroos 8-8-56.
Welcome back. Half-time in this crucial round 21 game as far as finals football is concerned. And still there is no clear answer. Hawthorn by 2 points, having led by 3 at quarter time. 9-4-58. The Kangaroos 8-8-56. The goal kickers. Hawthorn, Holland's been fantastic. 4 goals, 1. Hodges kicked 2, Brown 2 and Leckis 1. For the Kangaroos, Byron Pickett has kicked 3 goals, 1. Singles to Sinclair, Archer, Jones, Porter and Grant. Gary.
Byron Pickett has been sensational, Ed. He's kicked 3 goals. He does tend to kick goals in a hurry, and the challenge for him now is to have a big second half and not drop away. But he has got presence. I think that's a nice way of summing up what Byron presents to this footy club. Both he and Glenn Archer started up forward, and they had Harding and also Jones in the vicinity, so their work rate was up. And he was able to, there's a really good battle here in McCabe early in the piece. McCabe got plenty of the footy and set up a lot of run off half back to Hawthorn. But Byron was able to find the goals on 3 occasions. He did it in a number of different ways. He ran hard, he worked hard off the ball as well, and he set the ball rolling for the Kangaroos. So, but as I said, he needs to do it again in the second half. Hopefully his conditioning will allow him to do that.
Yep, certainly we saw plenty of Byron on the play on there with the hard hits. 3 goals in the first quarter, and they were punctuated by Nick Holland's play, and he's been by far the most effective tall forward on the ground.
Well, he benefited from some good coaching tactically from a Hawthorn point of view. They wanted Mickey Martin out across half back, which meant that Nick Holland took Lee Colbert to the goal square and played effectively as the sole full forward. And Lee Colbert was not comfortable playing in that position. He got some really good supply from a midfield that do kick the ball very well, but he just kept presenting himself, and tonight he's got his kicking boot on. And this is some good run from Jonathan Hay out of the full-back line. Good clean hands, and then ended up, as we said, slotting him through, and that's the difference. And we might have seen Nick Holland play like this in weeks gone by and end up with 1 goal 3. Tonight he's got 4 on the board.
And Dermot, we can see even on that lead and run there that Holland still can't get his hands up really above his eyes because of those shoulder problems.
Yeah, he's been over that for a while, really, Ed, but it's just a confidence thing. But I think he's taken most of his marks overhead out on the lead tonight, and they seem to be just a little bit more above the eyebrow level, but which is ideally where you want to mark them, but sometimes you've got to put it up much higher than that, and he doesn't seem to clutch too many up there.
Well, Dermot's half-time. This is the crunch game.
Absolutely.
2 quarters of football to go. You're in the Hawthorn rooms. What's the feel?
Yeah, well, the coaches came in first. I watched them come in, and pretty brooding, I would say, is the best description of them. They came in, they know they gave away a couple of goals at the end there, which could be invaluable come the end of the game. So they were a little bit pensive, a little bit of a dark look on their faces. The players came in, not rah-rah stuff, not going over the top, but quietly talking to each other, geeing each other's up. The blokes who are playing well, they're doing most of the talking, and as per usual in a footy team, the blokes who aren't touching it all that much, they're the quiet ones, and the confident guys are getting around them. So pretty standard sort of practice for a footy game.
All right, it is a team sport. There's no doubt about that, Gary. And the key to a team sport is you have to work for each other.
You do indeed, and on this occasion we'll see here Angelo Lecker sets up a goal purely because he listens to instruction. There's Daniel Chick, caught out of position. Mickey Martin's on the burst here. Chick says to Leckis, you've got to cover for me. I've been caught out. Leckis reacts straight away, goes to pick up Martin. Now, Mate Peaks was going to go to Martin unmanned. Now he has to come inside simply because Angelo Leckis responded. He comes inside, they get a turnover, ball finds its way into the hands here of Tallis, who gets it to Hodge, gets it to Holland, and Holland kicks a goal.
So 2 good things there. First was the call, second was the response.
Off the ball running, Eddie, and no stat for it, but it was a terrific performance.
And playing for each other. Well, we're going to take a break.
He's coming to an end, I think.
He's back after the break. as well. There's Kay in the background. And Campbell Brown going pretty well tonight as well. Derm, we saw you doing a little bit of coaching, having a chat to some of your mates down there in the Hawthorn rooms at half-time. After we left you, what was the feel around the place? What were you saying?
Yeah, actually, they do have a lot of belief that they're going to win this. Whether that transfers onto the scoreboard, I mean, that's the age-old question at any footy club. But yeah, Nick Holland, he'll go the goal square again. He's on screen now, and well, Glenn Archer's going to him. So that means Mick Martin back over onto Nathan Thompson.
Start of the second half. Hawthorn by 2 points. All or nothing game this one. Wren knocked it down. Mitchell. Now Bateman. Hawks move it forward inside the 50. Holland came hard. Running behind Blakey. His 16th possession to Teague. Swings it out wide. Bateman in best position. Simpson did well. Got it on the deck. Grant feeds it away. Sinclair's kick high, but gets there in time. Simpson. Defensive side of left centre wing. 58 plays 56. In quarter time, the Hawks led by 3 points. Simpson goes towards half forward. Awkward one. Well taken by Colbert. Stumbling to Cochrane. Forward of the wing. Probing kick inside the 50. To the back of the pack. Going back, Leckis missed it. Actually, that aided him. Chance for Graham. Socket off the ground. It's about 20 metres out. Heading for the boundary is Crawford. Not a bad idea. Gets it out.
Not a bad idea, Dennis, but low percentage. And saw him have a go at one last week late in the game where he fresh-aired it. Cost a goal in the end, but yeah, if you get away with it, you'd say great play. If you don't, costs dearly.
On that occasion, great play.
Exactly.
Throw in.
Oh.
But away with it again, out in the full though this time.
That's a free kick.
That is a free kick because it was thumped over the line without a bounce on the boundary line. So on that occasion, Tim, it didn't work.
No. Law, is it?
Yep.
There you go, you learned something.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether the third man up it applied to.
No, I didn't think it was. I thought it was a deliberate smack at it.
No, I queried that a couple of weeks ago, third man up, and was told it is the case.
Certainly is, according to Brett Allen, and Dennis Committee makes it official. There's Shannon Grant, who's tied in. Get that little girl just to duck down a little bit, will you? It's like female dicky knee on the boundary line here tonight. In comes Shannon Grant. Have a look at the shot at goal. It's just fading on its trajectory, and that's thumped through for a rush behind. And it's a point the difference here at the MCG in this game. So important for the finals aspirations of both sides, but crucial for Hawthorn.
14-man zone in place for the Kangaroos, so it's going to be hard to pinpoint one through it.
Cox goes for distance. Morel goes back and takes a good grab.
Poor choice. Sean Wren 1 against 2. I mean, Sean Wren 1 out is hard enough.
Terrible kick. Back towards the middle. Hodge uncontested. Sloppy start to the third term. Comes wide towards the wing. McCabe plays on immediately. Goes down towards half forward. Coming hard. Crawford on his chest.
Worked super hard for that kick.
Goes down towards the attacking 50 then. Thompson edged under the football. Leads back in the race. Blakey, though, came across on the angle. Did well. He was out of bounds, according to the boundary umpire.
Yeah, that's experience, Dennis. So as he's running back, 2 Hawthorn players closing in, he just swung it out once. So there was no chance of him being pinked for deliberate. Gets the ball in.
Igby Morel coming off the ground during his throw-in.
Probably because of that kick on the outer side. Wren over his shoulder back towards the middle. Comes to him again. Wren 2 steps, high ball towards the kick-off line, and the mark is held down there by Thompson.
Exactly what's got to happen for Hawthorn is that Archer's gone to Nick Holland, and he'll make life hard for Nick. Nick will keep presenting, but you need your next bloke to bob up, and that is Thompson on Martin. And this is the best possible result.
When you asked about what was said, Ed, I didn't get a chance during that half-time break when Nick appeared on screen. Just was Thompson against Mick Martin, wasn't running him hard enough in the first half, so you'll find him on the bike for the first 10-15 minutes and try and make Mick's tongue hang out the side of his head.
Nathan Thompson, point-blank range, gets the goal, his first.
Good effort by Sean Wren too in that situation to contest, get the ground and then swing it round on the left boot and give his forwards a chance. There he is. Good mobility from the big fella. He's got a job to do, Sean Wren, because Matthew Burton was probably the player, almost the most significant player for the Kangaroos in that second quarter.
As Dermot said, Digby Burrell goes to the bench as a result of his turnover that resulted in the Hawthorn goal, and the Hawks now by 7 points. We've played nearly 5 minutes in the third term.
This kid's taken it up to the Kangaroos. We've gone to the quarter-time break, and the Kangaroos had smashed Hawthorn out of the middle. It's young Sam Mitchell's come on and evened up the ledger for the first in at the ball. Kangaroos still pretty strong around the takeaways, though.
Plenty of blocking going on in there. Spider gets the tap. Leckers picks it up the back. His handball was smothered. Has another go at it. Wants it. Wants to make amends. Flicks it over the top. Here's Dermy's boy, Mitchell. Held the ball long enough. Kicks up towards Rees. Did it beautifully. That was courage and poise. Off one step. They've got the numbers here, the Hawks.
Great effort,
Bateman did well. Wren did the shepherd, as you heard from Gary. Chick around the body. Thumps it long. Up towards the goal square. Out comes Thompson. Pushed underneath the ball. Archer was there. Crawford. Crawford. It's the post. We'll give that one to Crawford for a behind as we approach the 6-minute mark. With 57 plays, 65.
It's interesting to watch Mick Martin, and the one he got beaten by Nathan Thompson a few minutes ago. All these aerial contests, Mick never looks at the ball.
Harvey, straight up the middle. Burton from behind, punched it away. Teague drives it down towards half forward. Plenty of space. One-out contest here. And McCabe prevailed. Well done. Got it to Cox. Goes over the top. That could be pivotal. Goes towards the outer side. Does Ruiz. Chopped off though by Makepeace. Arrived quickly. Gets a hand pass to Harding. Harding about 65 metres out from goal. Sends it long down towards full forward. Colvin took the pace off it with his scone. Graham comes away. Kicks it back towards half-back, and the mark is held by McCabe. Errors again from both teams. McCabe to Bateman. Midway between the lines. Takes on Sinclair. Kicks towards half-forward. In from the side, Holland. Off hands. Now a chance. Vandenberg can't pick it up. Eventually does to Brown. Brown going towards the boundary. Tries to pull it back offline. And through for a behind. And Chick makes the point. Not really the spot to put it.
No, he probably just need to run another 5 metres and have a fair crack at it. Makepeace was Brown's opponent. Makepeace was the player who ran the ball down the other end, so he caught him out on the rebound on that occasion.
14-man zone by Hawthorn at the other end, so if you can get it over after the first kick, they're in free space, but that's big ask.
Big ask when it's 2-on-1. Leckers. Over the top to Cox. Back to Leckers. 1-2 working beautifully. They had the numbers and used them. Now Leckers goes long to the goal square. Wren comes from behind and takes the mark.
Had the set, Ed, well called. He read it coming in there. I actually thought it was a poorly directed kick. If you look on the replay, there is little Campbell Brown at the back. We know he can jump, but not against 4 opponents. And you'll get the chance to count the Kangaroo bodies, so Wren's worked back pretty well.
Sean Wren for his first goal of the season. That was his first mark. He gets his first goal, and it is a vital one for the Hawks. Hawthorn have kicked the first 2 goals of this third quarter.
If they just held them up outside 50, and Angelo Leckers, I suppose if you do have any doubt as to where you're going to put the ball, it's the safety's got to be the long kick, and that wasn't the safest kick going the other way. He did well, Jess Sinclair, to work hard, but they both go to Simon Cox and leave Leckers free. Now, watch the incoming ball here. Wren does well to run back with it. We'll count the Kangaroo jumpers.
So a testing time for the Kangaroos. They've fallen off the pace. They're down by 15 points. Mitchell too slick. Simpson trying hard, jams it on the boot, well inside the 50. Motlop, awkward bouncing ball for him. Colbert came hard, knocked it forward. Motlop, the beneficiary, pulls it across the body. Kicks the goal. Quick reply, his first.
Certainly got something, this kid, hasn't he?
He looks like he's put on a bit of weight down.
Yep.
Young Motlop. But he would have to do the role that David King would normally do in a situation like this, is that just create something with his legs and his ability to turn players inside out. And it's a nice finish.
One for the scrapbook in your 50th game.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. But he just does look like he's put on a little bit around the chops. But it was a nice finish, nonetheless.
So a vital goal there for the Kangaroos. The Hawks had kicked the first 2 of the quarter and out to a 15-point lead. Now it's back to 9. Mitchell, though, doing the job that Dermott asked of him to do. Get in under the ball in those centre bounces.
Push! Play advantage!
You heard it from the umpire. So Vandenberg kicks to the square. In fact, it was about 30 metres forward of the square. In the end, it comes over the top to Holland. He can run into the open goal. Nick Holland kicks. Goal number 5.
What good hands. Good hands from the back of the pack. The replay will reveal it. I think it was Campbell Brown.
Yep, absolutely.
And he knew that he'd drawn, well, he got the ball, and that drew all the Kangaroo defenders. He sensed his teammate was still in space. That's the free kick. Watch the incoming ball from Vandenberg. And it's Campbell Brown, peels off the back. Now, he draws 3 blokes to him. He knows somebody's got to be in space. He recognised the jumper. He's more than just a hard-at-it player, Campbell Brown. He read that pretty well.
He did. He summed it up so very quickly too. I think that's the thing that was most impressive.
78 plays 63, 18 career goals against the Kangaroos for Nick Holland. His best effort here tonight. Mitchell, so important, brilliantly done. Crawford, 2 in the space of 30 seconds. Yes, sirree. His first.
Sean Wren starting to have a bit of an influence here. Spider Burton and Porter had him down to 1 possession at half-time, and even though he's only got to 4 now, he's added 3 in the first 11 minutes here, and that hit forward wasn't a direct hit to a teammate, but it got his team going forward, and Sam Mitchell read it once again. Hawthorn inside 50 this quarter, 7, Kangaroos 3.
Croft pretty happy with that one. Very happy with that one. And Sam Mitchell, in only his 8th game of football, has been the pivotal player in the pivot. Oh, look at that. Mitchell
Hodge.
Again, first man in. Hodge coming through. It's all the youngsters, Doom, standing up for the Hawks tonight. They lead by 21 points.
I think they're terrific. Hodge, Mitchell as well, and Campbell Brown. They're an impressive quartet.
They certainly are. Porter gets it out. Cochrane kicks it to the 50. Pickett gets to the front and takes the mark. Byron kicked 3 goals at this end in the first quarter, but he's gone off to Harvey. Needs to kick the goal. Brent Harvey always does when you need it. He's a star. He kicks the goal. His first.
Yeah, an exhilarating start to this 3rd quarter. Both ends, both ways. Brent Harvey's been a superstar tonight. He's just racked up possessions. I don't think he's right. He had maybe had an opportunity to tackle Nick Holland when he ran in the goal earlier in the quarter and decided not to. Just slipped out of this, did Byron, got the ball moving quick enough. And Shane Crawford wouldn't charge him. He thought he might have got stepped inside out.
Good call.
Because that is what Brent Harvey can do to you. So probably played it right in the end, Derm, and had to say, if you're good enough, son, take your shot. And he was.
That's a great description there. Crawford did exactly the right thing.
Already had 6 goals in the term. Porter wrestled down by 1 arm by the big fellow Wren, who's been very important. Hit the deck hard. Another bounce. Kangaroos will not go away. Blakey robbed of it by Chick. Dragged down. Cox clever. Wren in trouble. Pushed off the ball. Cochrane got it to Sinclair. Going back was Mitchell. Archer is hurt. Slow to get up. Meantime, Pickett steps around him and a couple of Hawks. Takes off. Runs to 35 metres out. And he's kicked his 4th. Exhilarating stuff.
In the meantime, Archer's still down.
Sam Mitchell was the man. Both players' eyes for the footy. Glenn Archer, as we've come to expect over a long time, and that's a knee in the ribs. And if he hasn't jumped back up, Dermot, on his feet, which he hasn't, he is in a lot of trouble.
That is, well, yeah, beautifully described. You just know that is enough to have anybody stretch it off, and he's refusing to come off. He's in a lot of trouble.
Bit of the 1989 grand final about this, with the bloke sitting next to me. Archer has copped the beauty and will not come off the ground here. That's the ribs.
Yep.
And he's taken in some deep breaths. He stayed down for a long time. He's in the hands of the trainers. They're still with him. That's a sick boy.
Trainers want him off, and Archer's now coming off. He's in a bad way. Back in the centre. The Kangaroos get the break again. Harding, they've kicked the last two, breaks the lines, runs to 50. Harding slams it on the boot. It's off target though, and through for a point.
Gee, they're dangerous out of the centre, aren't they? And Harding just has that blistering speed. There's Glenn Archer, and that has a whole lot of hurt attached to it.
3 behinds now for Lee Harding in this game. Hawthorn from the kickoff to Bateman. 8 points the difference. Hawks have got it though. Vandenberg on centre wing and plenty of room to run. Uses his full measure. Kicks a helicopter inside 50 off the hands of the pack. Hodge is on his left boot. He decided to give it off to Vandenberg from a standing start. He kicks to the front of the square. Thompson from behind. Martin from the back. Did Thompson get paid? The mark is being paid it.
Two bites. He had 2 bites. One may have come off the back of Mickey Martin's bald melon.
They're all pointing to the scoreboard. What's
Don't know
this?
if he got the first one.
I thought Mickey Martin got a hand or something on this one, and
Oh, that's his. That's between his arms. You've got to pay that one.
line ball, 4th mark.
Watch this, see it land between his forearms there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's his.
Did hit the forearm of Mickey Martin, but it's a pack mark. So a big kick coming up for Nathan Thompson. Has kicked 1 goal for the game in this quarter. It was the opening goal of the quarter at the 4-minute mark. We're now at the 15, coming up to the 16-minute mark. This is a big kick to make it 14 points. 35 metres out directly in front. He comes in and puts it right through the middle. Hawks reply.
Luke Hodge finding it out on the half-forward flank again. And Mick's saying I spoiled it with my head.
I've never seen Mick ever happy with the decision.
No.
It results in a goal to his opponent.
You played a bit of footy on him too. I've never understood a word he said when he's out there. He's a gentleman off the ground. Well spoken, but gee.
Signs are good from a Hawthorn point of view. Signs are terrible for the Roos in as much that Glenn Archer has gone off the ground, and I don't think he'll be back on. We'll get to Peter Larkins in a minute, but
let's get him now. Doc.
Yes, Ed, look, they've just checked him for a collapsed lung. They've just had the stethoscope out. Have gone through all the airways and having a look at him. A lot of pain, as you say. It takes a lot to get that expression on Glenn's face. So the right side ribs got caved in, and look, less hits than that can cause broken ribs, so you'd expect him to be pretty sore for a while.
8 goals in the term. Porter shins it forward. Mitchell taken down. Held to him, says the umpire. Ball up. There's the Warrior. Something you don't see too often.
get that camera too close.
It'd be the only time you wouldn't fear Glenn Archer when he's feeling like that.
Knocked forward by the Hawks. Graham got the first one. Down goes Lekis. Ruiz to Chick. Advantage is played 60 metres out. Assessed it very well. Went long. Going back was Brown. Colbert right on the line. Kept it alive. Colbert to the opposite pocket. Got there in time. Teague. Arriving quickly was Hodge. Getting very physical in this term, Luke Hodge. Teague, right back pocket. 9.5 minutes till three-quarter time. Drives it towards the outer side wing. Porter looking for front spot. He has paid the mark. Well done.
That is a great mark.
Goes on immediately. Sinclair wants his left side. Goes down towards half forward. Up goes Simpson. Thought about it. Nobody stood the mark. Plays on 65 metres out. Loney goes back. Oh, that's a very good mark too. All or nothing there as Glenn Archer walks around to go to the rooms. And that's a body blow in more ways than one for the Kangaroos. Meantime, chance for Harvey, 35 metres out. Settles, he won't miss. Kicks it, his second. What a game.
Well, Nathan Loney saw young Nick Rees in the middle about 5 seconds before, neglected to go to him. The Kangaroos defence, there he is. They're already started to move before Loney's got 3 steps into the kick there. That is commonly known as telegraphing your intentions.
What a start Brent Harvey's been tonight.
Good gun, mate.
He's having a super year, and he's playing injured. I've got no doubt about that. He's had 23.
So Nathan Loney gets punished for the second time tonight for a turnover, and it's an 8-point game. Kangaroos go forward again. McKay, but full stretch takes the mark. The turnovers, by the way, Clangers, Hawthorn 33, Kangaroos 21. But it's the Hawks with Vandenberg, who has the ball on centre wing Members' side. He wobbles one forward again. It clears the pack. Oh, bounce was going to be all important.
In the back.
Should have been a free kick in the back. The rulings. The handball missed the target. Campbell Brown tries to thump it off the ground. It comes off. Here's Crawford finding room. The handball was magnificent. Hodge didn't have a right foot. He ran back onto the left and has turned it over. Another bloke who's only got a left foot is Sinclair. His kick misses the target. Harding looking for the boundary line. Finds it just, says the umpire. Throw in front of the smokers stand.
They have been sensational, the Kangas. This is some powerful running going on at the moment, but let's not forget Stevens, Archer, King and Rocker aren't out on the ground. They're big four and they are hanging in there.
We'll go down to Doc Larkins in a moment because Glenn Archer's gone into the Hawthorn rooms to have treatment. Pete, are you there? Why would that be? Is that obviously the seriousness of the injury?
Yeah, it is, Ed. I think they're concerned about his collapsed lung potentially, and I think what they'll do is they'll get the ambulance to meet him in the closest possible medical rooms, which is Hawthorn in this case, and get him off to hospital for the x-ray of his right ribs and lung, of course.
Terrible news. Simpson close to the boundary line. Out it goes. It'll be tossed in.
A lot of respect there too. I mean, you do that for any boy who's in trouble, but the Hawthorn club team has the ultimate respect for Glenn Archer.
He's special.
Well, the poor old Kangas, you have to feel for them. They lose a star every week, don't they?
Haven't lost this game yet, though.
No.
Still very much in it.
They keep winning, don't they? Sav Rocker last week. You know, the captain the week before, Anthony Stevens.
Well, it's their biggest
Archer
four,
this
really.
week.
If you had to say who are their four most valuable, probably Harvey fits in there, but Stevens, Archer and King, every time he'd mention those three.
Tossed in again. Rees from the side. Blakey didn't have the football. Bateman, well played to Rees. 60 metres out. Long bomb down towards full forward. Sinclair with courage goes back, takes the mark. Hasn't he improved in recent weeks? The former Docker. Deep in his own defence. Hawthorn 14-6-90. The Kangaroos 12-10-82. Barely the 15.
Hawthorn pressing man on man. That's why they can't find a free target. They're just going to have to go straight down the line, kick a 50-metre down there unless somebody frees up. And look at them all sway over there. That's the way Denis Pagan coaches them. They're so well drilled. The worst result here will be they'll push it to the boundary.
Harvey for distance. Martin tried to do that. Chopped off though. Lekis comes back towards the middle. Rees had to wait. Tackled by Pickett. Down he went. Lotes had it. Lost it. It's coming back. Head high tackle. Wow.
Good win by Rees to stand his ground knowing that Byron Pickett's coming. Oh,
Was it for that?
Yeah, it was. You don't argue.
So Rees inside the 50. Going back. Harding takes a good grab. Plays on. Harvey.
At defensive 40, takes it to the 50 now. Still nowhere to go. He's waiting for somebody to lead. Handball's inside. Meanwhile on centre wing, the troops arrive. That is a push square in the back.
Reese off.
Umpire didn't see it. Throw in.
Lee Colbert saw now down there on Nick Holland at full-back. Just hurt his elbow or arm in that last contest.
One good shoulder between them down there at the moment. Throw in. Porter gets the tap. Harding breaks through, did well. Simpson tried to flick it off the ground. Loney now to Tallis. Bateman was just behind him. Hodge over the top to no man's land. Mitchell did enough to keep the contest alive for the Hawks. Motlop, Chick just pushed off him. Over the top again. Here go the Hawks. It's Vandenberg. He can set it up to the top of the square, and that's where he goes. Thompson looking for position from behind, ducked to the front, and took the mark. Umpires paid the free kick, though. As Gary said, Kangaroos. You heard it. Holland on Colbert.
Gee, he's done well for a bloke had to be moved because of form. In necessity, he's gone back, Lee Cobb. He's done all right last three contests.
Grant gave it to Harvey, to Cochrane. He's in right half back. Goes up towards the wing, coming across hard on the angle makepiece. Just over 5 minutes till three-quarter time. Margin 8 points. Pickett wants it in the middle. Gets it now. A runner alongside. Cochrane again. Advantage is played. Pickett was put down. Kick inside the 50. And Porter reaches over the top and plucked it.
I reckon he's really nailed his teammate there.
Robbins here got cleaned up.
Really nailed him. Watch him here in the front with the red hair. Shoulders. Oh, that's driven the arm upwards. The doc will see that. And arm on the ground, and that will push up into the joint. That's got to hurt.
We'll take Porter's best kick from here, 55 metres out. It'll fall about 5 metres short, off hands, towards the pocket. Morrell put the body in, keeping his balance and doing well. Bateman initially, that was ambitious. Down he goes as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dennis, talking shoulders. Just remember, guys, not that many weeks ago that Lee Colbert had a fully dislocated shoulder. They elected to play him on, so that's the problem, Gary, that he's playing with tonight. Still doing well. Similar with Robbins there, the elbow on the ground and right up into driving the shoulder joint into a big stretch.
You saw that in the last quarter where he got to the position in the goal square to take the mark, couldn't get his hands up quick enough, it hit him in the head. Meantime, Makepeace does well. To the boundary line, throw in at half-forward flank. Tony Jones is boundary side.
Well, Eddie, with Glenn Archer out of action, it would appear that leadership duties have now fallen to Adam Simpson. Of course, it would have been David King, but he's out suspended.
Here the umpire barking out the instructions. Porter got the tap. Almost in the back. Umpire says no, we'll have a bounce.
The most impressive thing from the Kangaroos' point of view is that they are running as hard as Hawthorn, and I rate Hawthorn's runners as potentially the best in the competition, their fitness and their ability to cover lines, and the Kangaroos are going with them.
Well, that's got to be a free kick to Porter again if they're consistent. They are.
They're good on the quick break, the Kangaroos.
Porter thumps it long up towards full forward. Petrie was there, Harding across the front of the pack. Shannon Grant gets it back. The snap at goal is a goal. Motlop has kicked his second.
Good effort on his 50th game. He's been able to bang a couple in and become a player after not having an enormous impact on the game. So that's what you want from any player out in the ground. If things aren't working your way, you just got to keep at it, keep at it. There's the free kick against Lopes. You run the risk when you take Wren off, who was terrific early in the piece, but you've got to give him a spell because you want him in the last quarter. And then Motlop, he's bobbed up with 2, so that's what you need from these fellas.
Yeah, Mark Graham has got separated. He actually read his teammate. There he is on screen. He's going Shannon Motlop at the moment. He read his teammate winning it and peeled off too early.
Mark Porter, very important, got it down to Smith that time. Floats one towards half forward, off hands. Picked up by Motlop and or Pickett. One of them's got it. Across the body, inside the 50. Harding. Can he kick accurately on the run? Fourth behind.
They've had some centre bounce takeaways in the last 15 minutes too.
They just go hard forward. Both teams just tear at it forward. And
on the quick break, they are damaging out of the centre.
Robbins off with that shoulder injury.
Kangaroos can't wrap the lead at the moment. Point the difference. The pocket.
There's nothing ahead. He has to hold this for 20, 30 seconds. No, somebody's come from half forward. Good lead.
Loney drives it around the outer side. Brown worked his man under the ball. Cochrane on the angle. Did well. Morrell in trouble. Is he holding it? I would have thought so. Yes, says the umpire. One on the boundary line. Under 3 minutes till three-quarter time. Brown's got the footy.
He's been rewarded. He's come from the forward pocket to give that option there.
Loney off his step, out wide. Cox. Defensive side of the wing to Brown. Kicks it down towards half forward. Good mark, Holland. He's bid at 5 goals. Inside the centre square.
Thompson's in motion.
Holland long towards the pocket. Hangs a long time in the air. Well taken away by Simpson. High ball towards the wing. Graham in position, and that's a very good mark too.
And plays on straight away. Bounced. Kicks to the forward 50. Good kick, Crawford, 55. Plays on straight away. He'll have a go here, Crawford. Left foot snap at the goal. It's an ordinary kick. Blakey went to ground. Chick. Mickey Martin just hoofed it out of the goal square. Ball is still live. Rawlings to Teague. Tried to draw his man to Blakey. Just wanted to get it outside the 50 and did it beautifully and found the boundary line. And Glenn Archer getting a standing ovation walking back around the boundary line. And that's great to see Arch back on the bench.
John Blakey's been good tonight in his last couple of games in the Kangaroos.
Hawks have led since the 14.5-minute mark of the first term. But it's a point the difference now. Free kick to the Kangaroos. Teague gets the advantage to Motlop. He'll have to hold it because no one inside 50. He runs to half forward. Now it's 1. Digby Morrell. He goes short instead. Good play. Beautiful kick. Shannon Grant Harding's run to the square. It sets up there for Sinclair and marks.
She's got a good pair of hands.
Jess Sinclair has taken one screamer tonight in the square to kick a goal. He's now taken two and will line up for his second to put the Kangaroos in front. 5th mark for the night, Dermot.
And he's a strong pair of hands. Last week, he really surprised me the way he took some strong overhead marks, and he's continued on this week. It's amazing what a bit of confidence does for you, Gary. The kid's been in and out of senior teams from Perth to Victoria, and suddenly he recognises himself as a hardcore senior player and starting to produce in all the facets of the game.
He had 30 disposals last week too, Gary. 7 goals for the season.
Oh, he's always talented, and you expect him to kick this and put him in front.
Lines up from 40 metres out. The Never Say Die Kangaroos hit the front at the MCG.
Full of enormous merit, this Kangaroo effort to hit the front, probably almost for the first time, I think, tonight.
Boys, I'll jump in. Doc Larkins has got an update on Glenn Archer.
Yeah, sitting back on the bench, Ed, if anything's going to inspire the Kangaroos at three-quarter time, having him out there. Look, they would have taken him into the Hawthorn rooms to get him into a quiet spot, guys, and have a better listen to the lung without the noise of the crowd. So, having brought him back out, you'd have to think that they're a bit happier. He looks more comfortable walking back at the bench, so may well have cracked ribs, but you'd think they've cleared him of any great lung damage, Ed.
So what about these Kangaroos? 5 of the last 6 goals. Playing with great heart. What's new? 5 points the difference. They're on top, approaching three-quarter time, down to 45 seconds now. And a real test of the mettle of the Hawks. Reaching over the top, Lotes. Another ball up.
Sensational effort, and there's a couple of Leicester lights stepping up too, and that man in his 50th, Shannon Motlop, has been terrific. Harding's also got amongst it.
25 seconds to go. Simpson towards half forward. Cox got it away. Up to the top of a teammate though. Petrie followed that example. Morrell falling backward, sends it high and deep. Graham got a first on it. Right at the congestion. Tallis runs to the 50. We're down to 5 seconds now. Tallis gets a hand pass away. Too little, too late. Lekas goes up towards the wing on the siren. Wonderful by the Kangaroos. They trailed by 2 points at half-time. End-to-end football in that term. 11 goals. 6 to the Kangaroos, 5 to the Hawks. And we're set for a terrific final term on Friday Night Football. The Kangaroos against the odds. They've lost that man in that term, but they haven't lost the knack of winning. 14-11 to 14-6. Can they win this one?
I love it when we do what we do when we do. I love it when we do what we do, 'cause we do what we do till it's done. I love the way we do what we do, 'cause we do what we do and it's fun. You're the one. I dig it when we kiss and we hug, and you're cuter than a bug in a rug. I love
Suspected broken ribs, 1 goal tonight. He's been fantastic up forward. 5 kicks, 2 handballs and 2 marks, but he may not play any further part in this match. Who knows, maybe not even the rest of the season if he has broken ribs. Hawthorn trailing the Kangaroos, though, by 5 points. Denis Pagan rallying the troops. Dermot, let's have a look at how the Kangaroos scored those goals. They kicked 6 goals, 3 to 5 goals, 2 in that all-important third quarter.
The interesting one here, the green dots, they're running goals. Now you've got Pickett off the half-forward flank, Harding and Harvey, all massively paced players. They break out of the middle. There's only one centre half-forward who plays very deep, so when they get on the fast break out of the middle, there's no oncoming traffic. And so they can run all that way, and they get to that position and they've got a running shot at goal. They are devastating out of the middle without anyone forward of them, and Motlop in front of play has been a good mix-up in the change for them.
TJ in the dock, boundary side.
Eddie, I just want to take you back to an unusual free that was paid early in that term, you might remember. Shane Crawford was penalised for punching the ball out of bounds on the full there. I can tell you that rule was brought in at the start of this year because clubs were actually using it as a bit of a method to run down the clock late in games, and the free is paid regardless of whether there's a third ruckman involved.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that one, Tony. Final quarter underway, the Kangaroos by 5 points.
Wren back on the ground, beaten that time by Porter. Simpson moved it about 5 metres. Motlop down towards half forward. Hay just knocked it away. Petrie put the body in. Spills wide, not too wide. Graham tackled immediately. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, we just saw Glenn Archer, Dennis, heading into the rooms there. They're quite concerned that he has got the cracked ribs. They've ruled out a collapsed lung, but they are going to get x-rays done. They'll probably get him away. Ben Robbins with that shoulder injury, guys, starting on the bench as well. So at the moment, Kangaroos only got 2 fit players on the bench.
They lead by 5 points.
Big Pagan's paddock in place here. Goal side for the Kangas.
Wren over the top. Morrell thumps it down. Well worked. Getting back in the race. Grant wouldn't set for him. Socked away by Vandenberg across the line. See, they're well drilled. They're all on the same page.
Well, it was exactly what they were looking for too. It was just all the space, big jump, whack it into space, get a runner onto it, and unfortunately Shannon Grant just couldn't gather.
Yeah, the last roll of the ball went the wrong way for him. Ed Cox absolutely beaten. But it is Cox with the ball in his hand.
Outnumbered on this kick in.
Kangas by a goal, needs to be good. Wren did enough to touch it, throw in.
Hawks haven't had much run out of defence, Derm. Hay hasn't had much of it. Also, Rawlings hasn't had a whole heap of it either.
No, Rawlings is more just, I mean, they've got big opponents tonight. They try to compete in the air. Jonathan Hay only the 4 possessions, and Rawlings, he's been a bit light on as well, only the 8.
Last year, the Hawks were 1 goal away from a grand final position. At the moment, they're 1 goal away from extinction in season 2002. Cochrane over the top of the ball, 19 minutes left. Can the Hawks conjure something? They trail by 1 straight kick, but the ball is at half-forward flank for the Kangaroos. Cochrane. Good tackle by Graham. Motlop over the top of the ball. Wren applies the pressure. Bounce 52 metres out.
Does not get any more desperate than this. We'll find out whether this Hawthorn side want finals footy badly enough. You've got the Kangaroos without their big guns. They are fighting and scrapping and being as brave as they always are, but their season is on the line. The Hawks.
Like a boxer on the back foot for throwing haymakers at the moment, the Kangas, as Jones goes around the body. Hay off the ground. Didn't panic. Now he picks it up, thrown to the ground by Harvey, one-handed. Oh, hello. Might have another look at that one. What did you say, Gary?
No, that was Derm, mate.
Derm, what did you say?
Oh, I just wonder the... I thought it was the crown jewels. Just a little mid-rip, that's all right.
Rib tickler?
That's an unwritten law amongst footballers. You never go to the...
lower abdomen.
Yes, as they say in the wrestling classics.
Wren got the tap. Petrie dishes. Umpires paid a free kick.
Peter Flandia had a sit down. Big free kick, this.
It is indeed. The free's 15 Kangaroos. To the city into the MCG was a behind in this game to make it 2 goals the difference.
Huge kick, this one. 18 minutes out from full time. Pickett 50 metres out from goal. Misses near side.
You would have to. I mean, Byron Pickett's got the points there. He's been fantastic for the Kangaroos tonight. He's kicked 4 goals. Luke McCabe's had 17 possessions, but fought on and been a bit of a link man. But you would have to worry that McCabe's first game in for some 8 or 10 weeks, he might run out of puff.
Loney and Hay. Made it look difficult. Loney gets away, kicks down towards half-forward, ill-directed, terrible effort. Teague, though, miscued. Time to recover from half-back. High ball, back towards half-forward. Well done by Hay. Mark is held by Loney after Hay got rid of Morrell, who was running hard to compete there. Just run him off the line of the footy. So Loney, his side down by 7 points and in trouble.
Everyone leads to the same spot.
Playing for their survival. Brown gave a contest. Teague got the ball clear. Martin goes for the outside of the boot. 2-on-1 for the Kangaroos. The one did well. Graham fisted away. It ricochets to Simpson, though. Across the body. Cox. Timely hand and again. Only as far as Petrie. That hand was in it again. Well done. McCabe back to Cox. They deserve some luck. He goes in short. Hodge. Vandenberg. Complete revolution. Gets the hand pass away to Brown. 50 metres out. Should have run a little closer. Virtually off his step. Has missed to the near side. Back to 6 points the margin.
Unusual.
Right, and you talk about those 2 smothers. They could have been season-saving smothers by Cox, because they had that Pagan's paddock again and numbers running forward. Both times Simon Cox was able to get a hand on it.
Campbell Brown getting some advice from the boundary line. He's kicked 2 goals too now. Graham comes from behind, thumps it in. Here's Mitchell, who's been hard at the ball. Does well, kicks it up to the full forward position. Out they come, and Chick takes the mark. Daniel Chick has not troubled the scorers tonight. This is a vital kick.
He's had a very lean night, Ed.
4 disposals, Gary. This is 5 coming up.
John Blakey's been his master tonight. 18 possessions to Blakey, so he is due.
32,393 riding this kick home as Daniel Chick, to keep the Hawks' finals hopes alive, does so, kicks the goal.
Good summation there, Gary. The 2 danger men now. Byron Pickett's got 4 on the board. He's against a first up for 10-week player in Luke McCabe. Fitness will go with Byron Pickett. He's in touch. And this bloke started shoulder to shoulder then, even though, as you called it, Blakey's been his master tonight. When the kick left the boot, he started shoulder to shoulder to Blakey. But as it tires, Blakey, Chick won't. He's a power athlete. Got to it easily then.
Hawthorn's last goal came at the 16-minute mark of the 3rd term. Rucks go at it. Porter won it down. Rieslick hands away. Cox in his score for the lead. Crawford 55 metres out. Long. Has it got the carry? Touch and go. It was touch. Right on the line. Makepeace. A brilliant run to come back and knock it across the line.
1 goal, 2 to Shane Crawford.
Rolled the dice, Crawford. That centre bounce. He just got forward in a big way, and it found its way to him.
What a thriller. Harding, after a precise kick in from Makepeace. 15.5 minutes to full time. Hawthorn 98. The Kangaroos 97. Harding, loose kick close to the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. Can't afford that.
Disposal's been ordinary. 4 behinds and that turnover kick for Harding.
Hodge, lazy. Jones takes the mark.
That mistakes from youngsters. Campbell Brown shot at goal, and that lazy kick then from Luke Hodge.
Cede some ground. Makepeace.
They can afford to do this more often, the Kangaroos, because Hawthorn know that they play down the line predominantly, and they do allow them a sideways kick here. Now they've got the field to work with.
Taking plenty of time. Now he decides to run. Makepeace drives it towards the outer side wing. 2-on-1. Waiting behind Brown. In trouble. Well done by Sinclair. Kept the ball going. Hooks it across his body down towards half forward. Grant almost spills in front. Harding a chance to make amends. Spins around. Runs inside the 50. He's kicked another behind. That's 5.
Arnold Bridus.
If they bring up the 77 grand final.
Sorry about that, Ed. I voted for them too.
Did Cotwell on the snout. Shannon Grant incidental though.
So the Hawks Scores level at the MCG with 14 minutes remaining in this game. Vandenberg breaks one tackle. Harvey chases him down. Throw in, centre wing.
Light night for Richie Vandenberg, 11 possessions.
Doesn't get more tight, any more tighter than this. The ball is on dead on centre wing. Scores a level. 14 minutes to go in the contest. For the Hawks, for a chance to play in the finals. For the Kangaroos, to pretty much sew up a spot in September. Archer off the ground with suspected broken ribs. He's on his way to hospital, we believe. Free kick, Vandenberg.
He slipped.
He slipped. They haven't given too many soft free kicks tonight. I hope they don't start now as Mitchell kicks inside 50. Makepeace did well to go back. Brought it to ground. Rawlings around the body. But Crawford's going to take the mark. The skipper has lifted. Around his body he goes. Opens up. Hodge. Left footer. Dancing. Trying too much. Crawford, though, comes up with the goods. Boundary line, throw in, 55 out. They got out of jail there, the Hawks.
They did.
Those kids have got to stick to fundamentals, don't they?
Yeah, they've been fantastic all year, but it's just been a touch shaky in this last 5 minutes.
Boundary throw in, other side, scores a level. Wren missed it, fell at his feet. Ree's got it down to Tallis. Mitchell, he's been very good across the body. Bounces it down to the pocket. Chick, too clever by half. Blakey to Simpson. Drives it towards the outer side. Going back with great courage was Hodge. Knocked forward. Hodge slow to get up. Meantime, it spills to Rees. Gets a hand pass away to Tallis, surrounded by Kangaroos. Hand passes it down towards the 50. T. Well, that was a quick one. Jones just drops it across the top to Rawlings. Close to the boundary line, short of the wing. Under 13 minutes to go. What would a draw mean? Pickett.
No one in the Kangaroos 50.
Takes off. One bounce. Probing kick towards Hawthorn. A beautiful kick. Harding. Put it 5 behind. Too far out to score here. 60 metres from goal. Bacon square. Teague is going back. I think he'll go long, and he does. Gets onto it. That will be a goal, I fancy. No! Right on the line, Crawford.
He's got a goal now.
The captain's touch.
6 behind.
Top of the square at some stage has to be an option for both sides. And stop looking for that perfect play. I think the Hawks have probably been guilty of it most in the past couple of minutes.
12 minutes ago, the Hawks trailing by a point. Away they go. Vandenberg takes them on, runs, beautiful kick to centre wing. The mark's been taken by Hodge. The sweeping handball inside to Crawford. Crawford runs to 50. Gets right down. Great play. Mickey Martin picks their pocket to Colbert. Around the body. Out they go. Simpson has it on half-back flank. Looks up. Gets a lead. The kick is up to the wing position. The kick was offline. Grant is there. Harvey was the man who got away. Now Grant from the standing start. Kicks up towards the half-forward flank position. Rawlings from behind. Punches it away. Crashing through. Which yes, Sinclair got the free kick.
Mark Porter, I just want to get his name out. Mark Porter chased down Shane Crawford from behind.
With one of the most vital tackles of the year. Sinclair bumps it long up towards full forward. Harding's pushed under the ball by Cox, who takes the mark at full back. Usually a beautiful kick. This one no exception. He puts it out in front of Holland. Holland runs onto the ball. No one to kick to though. He has to keep running. Puts it out in front. Kangaroos have got the numbers. Here comes a turnover as it's picked up by Lee Colbert.
Across the body. Clever kick too. Short of half forward. Jones has got it. That's 75, 80 metres from goal. Not a good effort though. Rees, was he pushed in the back? No, mark to stand. Grant's got it. 60 metres from goal. Morrell to the pocket. It goes in that direction. Wide of Morrell though. Didn't have the pace. Rawlings didn't have the luck. Sinclair might have the kick. Behind.
Ooh. It was a great run down. You called for it, Gary.
How's that?
Sometimes a player from another club just in one movement can win the hearts and minds of his new club. And I figure that happened right there. Mark Porter, who's been very good tonight, took control when Sean Wren came off the ground midway through the third term and hasn't looked back. Cox, meantime, straight down the middle. Wren knocked it on the ground, then immediately had a problem. Grant Burton, 60 metres out, long kick in from the side. Rawlings gets a second chance, having dropped the mark. Goes to McCabe, less than convincing. Double high. And the lead out to 3 points.
They go long to Sean Wren. They have to get numbers at his feet.
Got to get a crummer there, and Sam Mitchell just a little bit late getting in there. It was almost like they didn't have a plan B then for the kick in.
Kangaroos hold on to a 3-point lead. We've played 14 minutes and 15 seconds in the final term of round 21. No need to panic just yet for the Hawks. 10 minutes to go.
Just one-on-one coverage, Eddie, all over the ground at the moment. There's not a loose player.
And that's the way the Kangaroos will love to play it. It's the way they bottle up games because they're the best winner of the disputed ball in the league.
Jade Rawlings thumps it outside 50. Crawford picks it up over to Rees. Good play. Away go the Hawks now. McCabe's kick has to be good. It's up the line. Over the head of Graham. He recovers first. Jones did well though. Knocked it towards the boundary line. Colbert is there. Underground handball. Danger. Robbins did well. He's got the sore shoulder. Took the bump. He got the handball away. But the kick's over the line and out of bounds on the full. And the Hawks will take it on centre wing.
Hodge down.
Breeze over the top to Dixon. At half forward.
Second possession for the evening. Benny Dixon spent most of the time on the bench.
He's a match winner, we know that. Gets his chance. 9 minutes left on the clock. Final term. Hawks must win. Trailed by 3 points. Harding did enough. Took the pace off the ball, then ran with it. Holds it. Not quite sure what to do. Looking for a teammate. He gets one from Colbert. Colbert kicks out wide. Harvey takes the mark. Harvey keeps going. Steps Mitchell. Lines up the goals. And Harvey kicks goal number 3. They lead by 9 points.
Well, that goal, you can, if you're Kangaroo supporter, you can thank the back line for that goal. And the reason being, there was such great coverage on the Hawthorn forwards. There's Luke Hodge. That's a self-inflicted one there. Got it on the head.
Actually hurt his hand early in the piece, but go on.
Yeah, they had such great coverage on the Hawthorn forwards. Ben Dixon was forced to try and invent something and go around that zone the Kangaroos set up.
They've been quiet for a while, number 29, but he bobbed up right there and then. Coming down, hit Wren on the head, falls at his feet. So the contract squarely. Now with Hawthorn.
52 Clangers Hawthorn, 29 the Kangaroos.
Harvey's been terrific. Wren goes after it again. Rees. Wren spills wide. Rawlings alongside the centre circle. Pumps it long. Morrell missed it. Graham gets back. Hawthorn under pressure. Long kick wide. Good kick too. Lecker slides in. Takes the mark on his chest. Pops for space. Bateman runs to it. Around he comes. Pulls it back towards the middle. Thompson will need to commit. Here he comes. Didn't put the arms up though. Holland juggled attempt at the mark. Teague. Tackled by Holland. Jarred out of there. Some indecision. Chick and Rees. They share the football. Chick a looping hand pass. Got it away to Thompson. Slips 45 metres out. Pulls it back towards full forward. Standing his ground. Dixon turns round. Kicks the goal. 3 points the difference.
Owes one Benny Dixon after the turnover in the middle of the ground. And he has had a long spell on the interchange bench, so maybe he'll be the spark. The Kangaroos have always been able to find, so he won't be the spark when he's coming on. But they've always been able to find one of the Roos tonight. There's a fair kick from Thompson. I didn't think he'd be able to get it back to there.
Actually stood up.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He did stand up under the pressure.
So Benny Dixon gets the phone call from the coach. Congratulations on the last goal. But in the meantime, don't turn it over again. It's 3 points. What a game we've got here. The Kangaroos in front. As Spider gets the ball out of the centre. The race is on centre wing. Rawlings comes out against his brother. The two boys from Tasmania go at each other like they did in the backyard. Brody Rawlings dives on top of the ball. Unlucky. Or got one in the back. No, unlucky for holding the ball, says the umpire. Free kick to Cox. Oh, hard that one, I thought.
Bit stiff.
Cox goes short. Vandenberg. Inside 7 minutes to go in this game. Kangaroos by 3 points. No need to panic just yet for the Hawks. At half-back flank. Vandenberg thumps it long. Thompson in front of Martin, couldn't hold the mark. Makepeace for the Kangaroos around the body. Vandenberg pushes off. They've got the numbers here, the Hawks. Campbell-Brown back to Vandenberg over the top. Ball stays in. Teague hard at the ball, ducked his head. Vandenberg sits on top of him. The umpire says we'll have a bounce right near the boundary line. 6 minutes.
How good is Brent Harvey? He's not dodging any... Well, he is dodging the physical contact because of his shoulder, but he's that good. He gets away with it.
And limping a little bit at the moment too, Brent Harvey. Big Spider gets the tap. It comes down to Robbins. He's got a crook shoulder as well around the body. This has been one for the Kangaroos. Look at this. Pickett, away he goes. Byron puts the foot down. Dodging. Finds some space. Almost moving for too far.
Gee.
Oh, I tell you what.
He did it well too by cutting both ways. That's the way to shake someone right on your hammer. It's counter.
Gee, just long. In the meantime, the turnovers occurred in the centre of the ground. Harding back to Jones. Gets the handball going to Robbins. Flings it out. Simpson back to Jones. Inside 50. Turnover. Hodge takes the mark.
To Bateman. Breaks away. Pulls it back towards the middle. Vandenberg lays it off. Loney arches the back, runs away. Kicks down towards half forward. Holland the target. Fingertips to it. Spider. Like Pavarotti on a skateboard there. Never ran the football. We've got a ball up inside the 50. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Brent Harvey's still limping, as Eddie called before, so really looking like he's run out of gas. Limping on the right ankle, right lower leg after that last contest, and sore in the shoulder, so not effective at the moment.
Everything to play for. Newell draw there. Wren dropped it at his feet. Simpson somehow found a path where there wasn't one. Kicks it out towards the wing, and it bounces out of bounds.
Herald Sun trivia question. Tonight, our question is, name the current player who was just 18 years and 141 days of age when he played in the 1993 Premiership team. Entry coupons in every Friday's edition of the Herald Sun. That's the Herald Sun Footy Trivia Competition.
Wren jams it on the boot, down towards the attacking 50. Loose ball at the back. Sinclair gets back, kicks it towards the opposite pocket. Makepeace has been terrific tonight. Looks up towards the wing. Good kick to Harding, flirted with the idea of going. Held up by Bateman. He's at left half back.
He is an accomplished player, Makepeace now. He's a premier small defender in this competition.
Kangaroos by 3 points. Going back, Brown. Jones came up, took the mark. He's on the wing. Just over 4 minutes to go. Hawthorn's dream almost deflated. But time enough. Jones drives it towards half forward. Cox in best position. One hand to the foot, he knocked it down. Robbins, courageous. Mitchell's got him. Wren took him front on. Oh. Well, he almost ran into Wren. Robbins has got the free. That came very late. Now he's about 55 metres out from goal.
Porter and Burton in and around the goal square.
And that's where he's going, Gary, right to the front of the square. Burton goes up and Spider's taken the mark.
Well, Shawnee Wren was looking the other way, looking to the goal line when Spider Burton set off, but it was actually the kick directed to Byron Pickett. And Spider happened to be watching the fall of the ball before Sean Wren.
Spider Burton has not scored tonight. He's kicked 12 goals, 5 this year. 61-31 in his career. He'll line up a pretty tight angle, but he's only 15 metres out to make the difference. 9 points with 3 minutes left on the clock. He comes in, the big man, and kicks the goal that could put the Kangaroos into the finals in 2002.
I think the big men have all had an influence on this game at different stages. Spider Burton came on, I think he started on the interchange bench and came on and had a real big impact. Sean Wren hit back straight after half time, and then he had to have a spell, and Porter started to step up. So they've all had a bit of a say in proceedings here. You just wonder whether Sean Wren now in the last couple of minutes is going to have the legs to go with both Porter and or Burton.
Nathan Thompson up on the ball, opposed to Burton. Got it on the way down. Grant claimed immediately by Rees. Good result as far as the Kangaroos are concerned. 113 to 104. It begs the question, I think, as we see Kangaroos coaching staff, plenty of them. Back in the middle, scramble, Pickett, nicely worked, got the hand pass away to Simpson. Goes down towards half forward, leading the race out there is Hay, missed it, shinned it towards the line. I was just going to say, it begs the question about Wren coming off the ground midway through the third term. I just don't know about these orchestrated manoeuvres. Was that the time really to go for the jugular?
It could well have been. I guess the only query we'd have to have is just how he was travelling at that point in time.
2.5 minutes left in the game. Simpson, Grant, Harding runs in to ice the game. This time he kicks the goal. 1 goal, 6. Game over. Kangas win.
He's devastating, this kid, and he gets on the burst running towards goals. He is devastating. He's as quick as anyone in this competition. See, he's already circumnavigated the pack there, and he sees it goes to his teammate, and he's just off, heading goalward. Some guys are good at running up and meeting the ball as forwards. Some guys are good at running in the same direction. This bloke is a specialist at a young age at running in the same direction.
Well, no team is more admirable. No team is better drilled. The Kangaroos have defied the odds tonight. Grant goes after it. Locked in. Just another famous victory.
It is
as we go down to TJ. Sorry,
No,
Karen.
go.
TJ.
Oh, here come the Redcoats, Dennis. I tell you, after last week's little episode of the ground invasion, they're not taking any chances, and there's only 33,000 here. I don't think this is what everyone covered, I think.
Burton clean possession, just dropped it at his feet. Teague dives in. Interesting, gets to his feet. Hooks it out wide. Hodge goes after it. Robbins, Hodge through it. Teague had it knocked away by Cox. Robbins again, playing hurt. Got a hand pass goalward. In goes Cochrane, over the top Burton, spills to Bateman. 15 points the margin, not enough time. Oh, Sinclair over the top. Wonderful mark.
Had a good night, but you mentioned a famous victory, Dennis. I would imagine, and Denis Pagan probably would never say it, but would have to sit right up there, given the quality of the players they've got out, given that there's a few out there, I'm sure, who are carrying big injuries, namely Colbert and Harvey, and one or two others, against a side playing for their season. I think this is one of their best.
Dennis still yelling from the coach's box. He doesn't know there's a minute left in the game. 15 points. The Kangas are going to make the finals again. Burton. So many of their players discarded by other clubs. Those two from Fremantle.
Dockers back-to-back, eh?
Spider Burton with 45 seconds on the clock, and Peter Schwab knows season 2002 has been wasted. The Hawks won't make the finals. In comes Burton to the forward 50. They're queuing up to take mark of the day now. Robbins, another courageous Kangaroo. Just another one of them. Around the body to Jones, just over his head, over the line and out of bounds. Throw in with 21 seconds remaining on the clock. We pay tribute to the Kangaroos as the Hawks declare season 2002 over.
They're just a great club of people, aren't they? They're a brilliant club. They're undermanned. They've come to the party here and just taken it up to the Hawks in the midfield and eventually overrun them.
Close to the boundary line, over it goes as Byron Pickett attacked the ball as always. What a night for Byron. He kicked 3 goals in the first term to keep the Kangas in it. 4 goals for the match. 12 seconds on the clock. And this is one for the Kangaroo archives tonight. Throw in. Burton gets the tap again. Over the top, Morrell. Umpires called time on with 3 seconds, 2 seconds on the clock. The ball will go up and the Kangaroos will celebrate another September excursion coming their way.
victory. What a victory. Another frustration there.